Yes, good evening, everyone. Good afternoon, good morning. Greetings to all of you from wherever you may be watching in the world. And just in time, actually, to see the two teams walking out to the field. It is, of course, India against Pakistan today. And just find out where we're from. We are just here in time for the anthems as well, so I will just mute the screen very soon. And that was, of course, the Pakistani national anthem, followed by the Indian national anthem. And just make sure that we... okay, this is also going to be from Birmingham. Okay, so here we are. Now, sort of had to rush back and do this, and I am going to make sure that I let you know what the teams are. It's at times like this that I am grateful for Cricinfo. Shame on BBC Sport for not even bothering with this particular tournament. So, okay. So I will tell you right now that the Indian women won the toss and they chose to bat. So we'll find out what the 11s are. And this is a change, really, from, teams opting to bowl first. So I can tell you right now that it will be Smriti Mandana and Shafali Verma who will be coming out to, I hate these advertisements, will be coming out to bat, followed by Jemima Rodrigues and the captain Harmanpreet Kaur. And then this new middle order batswoman named Bharti Fulmali, followed by Richa Ghosh, the wicketkeeper. And then the all-rounder in Deepti Sharma, followed by bowlers Arundhati Reddy, Shreyanka Patil, Sri Charani, and Kranti Kaur. And as for the Pakistan women's team, well, Muniba Ali will be taking up her duties behind the stumps, and I think she'll be opening the batting later on in the day, followed by Gul Feroza, who's another wicket-keeper batswoman, but she won't be behind the stumps. Aisha Zafar, Saida Jabin, Alia Riaz, Natalia Pervez, the captain Fatima Sana, Ramin Shamin, Nashra Sandhu, Tasmia Rubab, and Sadia Iqbal, another bowler. Okay, so let me just quickly rush through another banner. Okay. So just confirm that the two openers are the vice captain, Smriti Mandana, a left-hander. But for now, it will be Shefali Verma, who will be taking the first ball of the innings. 22 years old, right-handed batswoman, ranked 7th in the world. She scored 2,722 runs in her 100-odd games at a strike rate of 135, so she will need another 278 to reach the landmark of 3,000. And of course, the vastly experienced Smriti Mandana, who's ranked number 5 in the world, 29 years old. She has over 4,000 runs, 4,333 to be precise, at a strike rate of 125. So it will be incumbent on these batswomen to provide a very big start. And hopefully we'll get some people in the comments. I think we started a little bit later than usual. I do apologize, but we are in fact live and kicking. And it's going to be Sadia Iqbal, the left arm spinner, who will be starting proceedings. Sadia Iqbal, the left arm spinner, round the wicket to the right-handed Shefali Verma. And immediately the opener opts to go the aerial route. And it's a 6 off the first ball. So I'm not too sure what prompted Captain what prompted Captain Fatima Sana to opt for a left arm spinner, but not the best delivery you'd want to bowl. Right in the slot, all she had to do was, effectively plant her left foot down, swing at it, and send it over the ropes. And that is well defended. The second ball there to mid-off. You can see they're just sticking her left foot down and dispatching that over long off for 6. Third ball. And Valma trying to sort of make room and put it away on the leg side, but she only finds the mid-wicket fielder. So decent recovery after being smacked for 6 off the first ball. At least she's shown she doesn't have the yips, does the Pakistani left-arm spinner. Third delivery. And that's 3 dot balls in succession. And she also happens to be one of those bowlers who bowls from quite wide of the crease. It's sort of along those blue lines, really. And as long as you're within those blue lines, then that's also a perfect delivery. But, she does stretch it quite a bit. And there's an appeal for a catch behind, and already Pakistan have a wicket. Well, that is how you recover from being hit for 6 off your first ball. Sadia bowling magnificently, cramping the batswoman for room. I think Shefali once again tried to make room to cut that away, but all she succeeded in doing was getting a nick behind to the wicketkeeper, Muniba Ali. Very well bowled indeed. Sort of the faster arm ball, so to speak. And there was a nick, and Muniba obviously heard that. The umpire had no hesitation giving that out. It is all happening out here at Edgbaston. Shafali Verma out for that 1-6 and 4 dot balls. India are 6 for 1. Well, this is great bowling from the left arm spinner. She was able to sort of get the ball to sort of drift inside and really cramp the batswoman for room. Angling in. Very nicely done. Last delivery of the over, and that's going to be a wide. So already Jemima Rodrigues has had to come in the first over. Excellent work in these 4 balls after being hit for 6, and you can see there Ultra Edge confirming there was a line. I don't call it Slicko anymore for some reason. That is the last delivery, and that's a dot ball. So 7 from the over, and you could say that it was a successful over, aside from a couple of pretty poor balls. And India 7 for 1. Well, certainly when that wicket was taken, there would have been a hushed silence among the Indian contingent gathered over at Edgbaston. As for the Pakistan supporters, they would have been absolutely delighted. Now, this is, of course, normally a fixture where India have had the measure of Pakistan in recent times. Now it's Fatima Sana, the captain, coming in, right arm medium. She was bowling over the wicket to the left-handed Smriti Mandhana, who got off the mark. It's now Jemima Rodrigues, who's on strike, also very experienced. And that is, of course, a quite fearsome top order, followed by a middle order of Harmanpreet, Bharti Fulmati, and then Richa Sharma and Richa Ghosh, I should say, and Deepthi Sharma. And then you've got the lower order. So India obviously hoping to take advantage of a very clear day and a good pitch, but Pakistan having made a good breakthrough. Fatima Sana again to Jemima Rodrigues, and that's played not really with that much power, and mid-on's able to just walk across and get that. Munib Ali, a bespectacled cricketer, who also doubles up as wicketkeeper for the day. Always important that she wears a helmet, because as someone who wears glasses himself, the risk of having your glasses broken is not nice. Third delivery of the over, and that is an attempted cut shot, which doesn't provide the breakthrough. I think it sort of hits Munib Ali on her glove. And that's another dot ball. Actually, it bounced right into Munib Ali and inadvertently ended up saving at least a few runs. So we could keep it doubling up as a goalkeeper if you were parrying that, so to speak. Fourth delivery of the over. This is a fine start by Pakistan. Very well bowled indeed. That is the line you want to bowl. And Jemimah obviously not quite able to play that effectively and only succeeding in tapping that to mid-wicket. Just a reminder, this is, of course, the continuing coverage of the Women's T20 Cricket World Cup. The classic clash between India and Pakistan live from Edgbaston. And as of now, India is 7 for 1 after 1 over, but after 1.4 overs, they're 8 for 1. So this is a brilliant start. Just 1 single off the first over and 3 dot balls. And this time, Jemimah does get off the mark. An attempted run out ends up missing the stumps and hitting the batswoman. So pretty sure Jemimah wouldn't mind. She sort of made the decision that she had to break the shackles and then sort of dove right towards the crease. Well safe. Last ball of the second over. And that is easily guided away along the leg side, but only to the backward square leg fielder. And that is just the one. So 3 runs from the over. An absolutely brilliant start for Pakistan. Bear in mind that they were hit the 6 off the first ball, but have come back superbly. Now, India do have some left-arm spinners of their own who could certainly try and pull the game back into their favour. And so it will remain to be seen just what sort of target India set Pakistan for the second innings. So far, Fatima Sana's decisions so far with regard to their bowling have been vindicated. Maybe Harmanpreet Kaur will be thinking, maybe I should have bowled first. Sadia Iqbal to continue over the wicket to the left-handed Mandana. And that is a fine delivery. You can say fine, but that is basically what you want to bowl. Left-arm spinner bowling over the wicket to a left-handed batsman or a batswoman. You cannot bowl too wide. You cannot give too much room. Keep a tight line. Attack the off. Start. Second delivery. And Mandana opts to go down, and that is brilliantly fielded. Well, it was brilliantly fielded, but all she succeeded in doing was pushing it onto the long-on boundary, the fielder there. And so Smriti gets into the groove now with a boundary of her own. So Smriti obviously sensing that she had to sort of walk a little bit across and sort of open herself up, and that is tragic, really. All the good work you do, and then your right arm invariably pushes that into the boundary. Third delivery is pushed all the way to cover. Another dot ball. So India 14 for 1, 10 of them coming in boundaries. And this is a fine delivery which pierces the field between cover and mid-off, and that will go all the way to 4. So this is good stuff from the vice-captain, finding the gaps. And now putting Sadia Iqbal under some pressure. Sadia Iqbal is definitely very experienced, playing in her 60th T20 international. And the fifth delivery is another dot ball. So she seems to do and that's sort of the tragedy sometimes of T20 cricket if you're a bowler, because if you get hit for a few boundaries, they do spoil your figures. 4 dot balls in that over, but 2 boundaries, leaving her with figures of 1 for 15 off 2 overs. But she has a great deal better than. Just going to change this a little bit. India starting to get into the groove. 18 for 1 after 3 overs at a run rate of 6 and over. Pakistan have bowled really well, but the fact that India have 18 runs is just a reminder that there's very little to no room for error. India, of course, won the 50-over World Cup or two recently, the pinnacle of Harmanpreet's career, but they will be under pressure here. And instead of the captain Fatima Sana, it will be the first ball is left arm over the wicket, and there could be a chance for a run out. No, just couldn't gather the ball in time. Tasmia Rubab, left arm fast. I do like some rhubarb with custard, but it's pronounced rhubarb. That ain't so. None of that. Left arm over the wickets of the right-handed batsman. I think Jemima did play that for well, but the mid-on fielder had that covered. Smriti Mandhana wasn't interested in the run. Second delivery. And that is high in the air. Fielders running under it. Will they catch it? And yes, they catch it at the second attempt. Brilliant work there. Absolutely brilliant work. And India are in a bit of a spot of bother now. 18 for 2 after 3.2 overs. Well, this is a brilliant start for Pakistan. I'm not too sure what they would have done had they won the toss, but so far they've bowled magnificently. A sort of a slower ball, really, a kind of a leg break style slower ball, which caught Jemima unawares. And it slipped, actually, from Natalia's hand. But she caught it at the second attempt. And you can tell just how delighted she is. Natalia Pervez catching that brilliantly. And that is the end of Jemima Rodrigues for 1 off 7. Never really got into the groove. And after 3.2 overs, 20 balls, India 18 for 2. And in comes the Indian captain, Harmanpreet Kaur. In a moment of crisis, it must be said. Oh, yeah, and I should actually, edit this. I got to edit it the first time they lost a wicket, but I mean, probably because it was so unexpected. Having been hit for 6 off the first ball, I never ever expected Sadia Iqbal to succeed. It was probably also the 5th delivery of the over, so would have made some sense there. But now Harmanpreet Kaur, the respected and admired Indian captain, is at the crease facing the 3rd delivery. And that is sort of on the pads and easily played all the way to the mid-wicket region for just a single, I'm afraid. So it was white in the air, and the fielding throughout this tournament has not been the best. It slipped from Pervez's hand, but she caught it brilliantly at the second attempt. And as soon as Jemima saw that catch being taken, she knew she had to walk back. What a start for Pakistan. Three balls bowled, 3 deliveries left. Reminds me of a famous joke involving Merv Hughes and the late, great Harold Dennis Bird. I will share that with you at the end of this over. 4th delivery, left arm over the wicket to the left-handed Mandhana. And all she succeeds in doing is playing that to extra cover. Sort of reaching there with her right hand and grabbing that brilliantly. I'll tell you what, had she dropped that, it would have been almost disastrous. Fifth delivery, left arm over the wicket to the left-handed Mandana. And it tucks her up, but she does play that to square leg region for a single. And so that brings Harmanpreet Kaur on strike with a lot of work to do. She is, of course, the lady with the most runs for India in World 2020 cricket history for India, of course. 727, one run more than Mithali Raj, the legend Mithali Raj. And she, of course, just achieved that landmark earlier in the over. So at the end of the fourth over, India's run rate has now dipped from 6 to 5. They are 20 for 2. So far, we don't have anyone in the comments. Nobody's really joined in. There was one person, Janley Brand, afternoon to you, Bud. And just a reminder that you can also catch some matches on his channel. He is, of course, another South Africa-based creator who specializes in rugby and provides analysis mainly in Afrikaans. But yesterday, of course, he and I were together on his channel and sharing it on Hanno's channel, providing some coverage of the evening game between New Zealand and the West Indies. The West Indies winning that quite comfortably in the end. And so we started the fifth over with Ramin Shamim coming in. Right arm, off spin, bowling to the left, around the wicket to the left-handed Mandana, and she gets that away right down to backward square leg. And I think that's gone for a boundary, despite Saida Jabin's best efforts fielding down there. So again, this is always going to be the problem when the ball gets away from you and rushes to the boundary. You've got to make sure you're fielding it spot on. And here you can see this delivery, not a very good delivery, pitching on middle and leg, always in a position to be hit down to the backward square leg region. And despite Saida Jabin's best efforts, she scooped it, but it sort of hit her and then went to the boundary. Pakistan will need to be careful that they don't take too long in between their overs, because there are, of course, some rules which say that if you do go over the time limit with your bowling, you run the risk, of course, of being penalised in terms of your fielding. You won't be deducted overs, though, when you bat. So Ramin Shamim again to continue. Right arm off spin. Around the wicket to the left-handed Mandana, who might fancy her chances. And once again, that is just poor bowling. Straight to the square leg boundary. Before. And you cannot afford to bowl like this if you're an off spinner. You've got to keep attacking the off stump. You pitch on middle and leg, you're asking it for trouble. Backward square leg, more or less the same area. And there are only two fielders in that region, short fine leg and deep square leg. So similar delivery. This time it's played to square leg for just a single. Yeah. Again, she's got to get the line right. Pakistan have started magnificently so far, and they need to continue to play as well as they are to keep the pressure on. We're still in the power play, the first 6 overs, so there are no more than 2 fielders allowed outside the 25-yard circle, which is why, if you're an off-spinner, you've got to get your line right. And her fifth delivery is over the wickets of the right-handed Harmanpreet Kaur, who plays that down to mid-on for a single. And so I think she'll be happy to play second fiddle to her vice-captain as Smriti Mandhana goes through the gears. Now that's better. That's the line you want to bowl. And that is played all the way down to mid-off for a single. And so the run rate has now increased back to 6 and over, with India 30 for 2 after 5 overs. And of course, that was Tasmia Rubab's second ball on which she got that wicket on her debut, in fact. So well done to her. Didn't quite get off the first ball. And now it's Fatima Sana again. And that is within the crease and bowling over the wicket to the right-handed Harmanpreet, who tried to play it but ended up missing it. Interesting seam position there. Looking for the outswinger. And she got it. Well, it's been called a no ball. The Pakistan captain bowling to her counterpart ended up stepping over the crease. So that's an extra run to India's total, and that will be a free hit as well. So, what does Captain Harmanpreet do here? Brilliant delivery. Straight into the block hole, and that is really guided, sort of fended, you should say, towards square leg for a single. So, Fatima Sana recovering very well indeed. And this is really good seam bowling from the Pakistan captain. Certainly, making sure she gets the position spot on. And it could very well be that the umpires were informed by the third umpire that Sana had, in fact, crossed the line. Over the wicket now to the left-handed Mandhana. And that is played very well indeed, straight back down the ground, but also very well fielded. And so that is a certain boundary, or at least 2 runs saved. Former Indian-Pakistan internationals, of course, walking with the trophy to the center of the field and posing with it and placing it on that platform earlier in the day. Full house over at Edgbaston. Stark contrast to the earlier game between Bangladesh and the Netherlands. And I will, in fact, let you know what the score was in a minute. Third delivery. And that is well bowled, but also well played enough for a single by Harmanpreet Kaur. Sort of to the mid-wicket region, just beyond short leg, you could say. So India's highest score in their first 6 overs was 59 for 3. There's no way they're going to get that in the next 3 balls. There's excellent bowling so far from Pakistan for the most part, but a few mistakes have cost them boundaries. Fourth delivery, over the wicket to the left-handed Mandhana. Very well bowled indeed. Mandhana unable to get away, and certainly when you get that line right, you pitch it sort of straight and sort of take it away from the left-hander, of course, or just put it across her. There's no way that she can get that away for a single. So this is a fine start by Pakistan. India expecting to sort of run away with it in the first 6 overs, but the Pakistanis have had other ideas. Fifth delivery of the over, still over the wicket. Well played again, maintaining that line, and that is played straight to the cover fielder, only for a single. There is still one delivery left in the over, and we're taking a look at the pitch at Edgbaston. It definitely looks a really, really, really good pitch for batting. A few tinges of green, not very much that would make this difficult pitch for the bowlers. And I think one of the reasons why Harmanpreet Kaur opted to bat first is because maybe the development of some rough later on in the game would aid her spinners. Last delivery of the over, and that is well played. Back down the ground, just beyond Fatima's reach, and that goes straight to the boundary. So a good enough ending for India, you could say, but after their first 6 overs, they are just 38 for 2, and so they haven't been quite able to really accelerate. But Mandana, of course, showing her experience, playing that with a very straight bat, sending that back beyond Fatima's despairing grasp, and that went all the way down to the boundary. So, after the first 6 overs, India are in fact 38 for 2, and hopefully, we should get some comments coming in for the second innings, so to speak. And I was supposed to be here back a little bit earlier, but had to rush to do a few errands. I came back just in time, and I'm glad I did. Right in time for the anthems. I'm only sorry that I couldn't prepare the banners beforehand. And we actually do have a guest coming in, and it is none other than one of my favorite Punjabi people, and of course a very passionate fan of Atletico Madrid in addition to Indian cricket, Gurshan Singh. Sat Shri Akal, Paji. Kya haal hai? Badhiya hai?
I'm very good on my part, Mani. Thanks for that. Thanks for that warm welcome. I think, yeah, indeed. I'm watching cricket after almost 14 days. I think the last time that I watched cricket match was between New Zealand and England. I think a nice moment to cherish India versus Pakistan, and I think it's a very fair and square tournament. I think everybody will agree with me that T20 World Cup, ODI World Cup, whether it's 50 overs or it's 20 overs, specifically if I talk about 20 overs, occasionally it's a very open game. I think if you look at T20s are quite open. Then if you look at how the one days have turned out to be, India indeed won the World Cup last year. So I think it's a very good start by Indian team. But this match, basically, if I talk about it, has been a double. This match has been a dead rubber for the Indian team so far, 38 for 2. Hopefully, this turns out to be a good recovery of close to 130, 140.
Yeah, we'll have to see that, because I think you'll be quite surprised with the way Pakistan started bowling, and they have bowled well for the most part. But as I said, a few mistakes have cost them some, rather costly boundaries, especially if you're a spin bowler. As I've said, you cannot deviate away from the line. You've got to bowl to your field. But so far, whenever they've bowled, they've had a lot of precision, and they were good value for their 2 wickets. So it's a decent enough start, but I do believe that when you have batswomen of the quality of Smriti Mandhana, Shefali Verma, and of course Jemima Rodrigues, they were hoping for about 50 at the very least. So how they play in the middle orders will be key.
I think, Mani, the thing that I also want to look forward over just how this tournament turns out with the absence of Pratika Rawal. I know that Pratika Rawal has been with the team, but I don't think so that the team management relies heavily on Pratika Rawal. Because if you look at the Indian team in the 50 overs, or if you look at the 20 overs also, Pratika Rawal was a very decent, consistent run getter for the Indian team. Shafali Verma, the thing has been that Shafali Verma has been always good when it comes down to the T20 tournaments in India. But the thing that I always want to look forward towards with Shafali Verma is the case that she always fails to perform at the big level. I know that she was a prodigy, 17, 18-year-old debut, played for India for a long time, then came to WPL where she got plenty of runs. But I mean, the thing that England, see, I'll be very honest, I haven't followed a lot of T20 matches in the Vitality Blast. So I don't know how the wickets have been turned out to so far in the Vitality. But I still say in women's cricket, a decent one, like a decent 130, 140 odd is a very competitive score. And Indian team, the thing is that Pratika Rawal has been a very technical batter when it comes down to the Indian team. I mean, if you look at Smriti Mandhana matches the same level of technicality as Pratika Rawal. I mean, both play the same kind of cricket. Shafali Verma, otherwise, if you look at Shafali Verma, she has been a kind of a slogger type of batsman who generally tends to push the ball very much, and she's a hard hitter. I'll be very honest too. Shafali Verma isn't very good when it comes down to playing technical cricket. So I think this combination, the attacking and defensive combination that the Indian team has won to with Shafali Verma and Smriti Mandhana could turn out to be very good. It has turned out successful in the previous times, but I still feel that Pratika Rawal's addition would have changed the things, because at least she would have gotten you a consistent 50 or 60 odd in every single match.
Yeah, well, obviously, Shafali Verma getting out early despite hitting that six hasn't helped, but Smriti Mandhana has looked really good. She's played that third ball down to mid-on there for a single, and there was a single earlier on from Harmanpreet Kaur. Is Ramin Shamim, the off-break bowler, fourth delivery, and that is another dot ball. So, these dot balls are definitely going to be gold dust at the moment for Pakistan as far as they're concerned. And, in a marked improvement from her first over, where she bowled a little bit wide and allowed Mandhana to get a couple of boundaries in the backward square leg region, Ramin Shamim so far has bowled a very tight line, and this fifth delivery is no exception. She's managed to sort of pin almost in the way Harmanpreet Kaur back at her crease. And so with one delivery to go, I think Fatima Sana has told her bowlers, now you've got to try to stick to the line and make sure you dry up the runs and don't give them too many opportunities. So Smriti's had a good start, but Harmanpreet's been a little bit silent so far. She plays this final ball all the way down to mid-on for a single, and after 7 overs, India are 41 for 2. And I do get what you're saying, basically, that you need to also have a kind of a technical, aspect to batting as well. Certainly a more technical partnership would be ideal. And now, of course, India are under pressure, you could say, because now the run rate has sort of dipped slightly under 6. So I think Pakistan, if they maintain this discipline, they could cause a lot of problems. But we've seen when in women's 2020 cricket that sometimes when it comes to bowling, maintaining that discipline and maintaining that line is easier said than done. Haji, are you there? Well, I think he might be busy watching, doing something else. Anyway, we are back with Tasmia Rubab, left arm over the wicket to the right-handed Harmanpreet Kaur. And she plays that all the way down to backward square leg for a single. I think Gulshan might be coming back, hopefully, later on the innings. So, it was good to have him come in and have him and have a conversation. I love that. And certainly there might be some changes made in the coming matches. The batswoman that she mentioned, Pratika Rawal, could very well come in if Shafali Verma has another failure. At the moment, though, Tasmia Rubab, in her debut, has bowled very nicely so far. Very well done indeed. 1 for 3 off 7 balls. Over the wicket to the left-handed Mandhana, who sort of guides that all the way down to point/backward point, and that's another single. Pakistan have maintained their discipline. This is an interesting seam position here from Tasmi. I'm not too sure what she's trying to do. It's over the wicket again to the right-handed Harmanpreet, who plays that all the way down to sort of the area between deep square leg and deep mid-wicket. So she basically places her fingers across the seam of the ball, maybe hoping for, a kind of bumper-style delivery. I'm not too sure. Once again, left arm over the wicket to the left-handed Mandhana. A sort of a slower ball, but that is played all the way down to the extra cover fielder, and that's a dot ball. This is brilliant, brilliant stuff from Pakistan, it has to be said. Just take a look at her profile, find out more about her. She's 23 years old. Born in 2002. And fifth delivery of the over. And that is high in the air. Is there a fielder under it? And she doesn't quite get it. Well, she was running backwards to try and get it, but I'm not too sure she had much of a chance of getting to that, really. But once again, this is great bowling from Pakistan. Once again, the sort of a slower ball. And Mandana not really connecting with that very well. Hoiking that high in the air. You know what? I think Alia Riaz will look back on that and say, you know what? She should have caught that. Last ball. And Harmanpreet plays that all the way down to mid-wicket. And that will be another single. So India are 46 for 2 after 8 overs, and they are starting to struggle a bit. Well, as I've said, this has been a brilliant start for Pakistan, and they've restricted India to 5.75 and over, while also taking a couple of wickets. They could have had 3. Not a very easy catch when you're running back, but I think Alia Riaz will look back on that and say she really should have done better. Had she caught that, that would have really put India in a big spot of bother. And now another left-arm spinner, Nashla Sandhu. Left arm round the wicket to the right-handed Harmanpreet Kaur, who guides that straight to the extra cover fielder. And she replaces Ramin Shamim. Second delivery of the over. Once again, left arm round the wicket to the right-handed Indian captain. And this time she pierces the cover point field and guides that all the way to the boundary. And that shot brings up India's 50 after 8.2 overs. And that was really, really, it has to be said, a welcome boundary. They needed that. The Indian skipper making room for herself and seeing the gap in the field. And the fielder there was never going to, have much of a chance of getting that, to be quite honest. Saida Jabin there, running, and not able to catch that. So a huge responsibility now resting on the shoulders of the Indian captain and the Indian vice captain, who are both out in the middle. Third delivery, and that is guided. Wasn't really going very far, and it went straight to the point fielder. So once again, another dot ball. Harmanpreet Kaur used to wear number 7, now she wears number 23. Fourth delivery. And once again, the Indian captain going down on one knee, hoping to play that through the leg side, only succeeding in finding the mid-wicket fielder, Tasmia Rubab. Well, India will probably look to try to accelerate in the latter overs, but this hasn't really been the best of start on the pitch, which does look pretty good for batting. And you have to say that Pakistan have acquitted themselves quite magnificently. Fifth delivery of the over. And that's a sweep shot played by the Indian captain all the way down to the square leg region, sort of mid-wicket region, rather. I believe they call that cow corner, if you will, sort of between square leg and mid-wicket. And that's another welcome boundary, which takes India's score to 54 for 2 in the 9th over. Certainly not quite as threatening so far, Nashta Sindhu. And I think Harmanpreet and Smriti and the other Indian batsmen will look to target her if she gets some more overs. Last delivery. And hoping to cut that, but once again finding the fielder. So this is pretty much the story of Pakistan's bowling. 4 dot balls, 2 boundaries. The margins are always fine when it comes to T20 cricket. That'll remain to be seen. I think we have seen, Janlu, that she has the potential to get some very big scores. But so far, it's the vice-captain Mandana who's looked in better nick. But she, to be fair, she has been there for a longer period of time. Tasmir Rubab back. Left arm over the wicket to the left-handed Mandana. And Mandana steps down and dispatches her first delivery for a 6. Over long off. And that will also start to free the shackles a little bit. You can see, I think, the batswomen starting to grow a little bit in confidence. And these are needed runs, not just welcome runs. They're needed runs. And that really is the typical classic left-handers shot down the ground. Absolutely majestic, and you can tell that the Indian vice-captain absolutely loved that, hoping to make the most of the life that was given to her with that drop. Second delivery, and she walks across the wicket and guides that all the way to square leg, and that'll be a single. Anything to keep the scoreboard ticking, adding more runs to the total. And some highlights from early in the day from Juwaria Ferdous's batting when Bangladesh played Netherlands earlier on. 50 from 33 balls. Excellent knock from the young Bangladeshi. Third delivery of the over. Left arm over the wicket to the right-handed Harmanpreet Kaur. She guides that all the way down to mid-wicket, hoping to get a second, and quite comfortably in the end. Well, that was very well played by the Indian skipper, guiding that perfectly, and Mandana was very quick to want a second, and it was that quick decision making that saw her come back. Having said that, though, had that throw been on target, I think the Indian vice captain would have been in trouble. Fourth delivery of the over, and that is played all the way down to square leg. This time that'll be a single. No question of the second run there. And so the last delivery of the over. This partnership now worth 46 off 39 with Smriti obviously playing her fair share, but Harmanpreet also contributing wonderfully. Well, there are 2 deliveries left, actually, I should say. And once again, playing that back down the ground, but it goes along the ground, and that is well fielded, really. I don't think she got the connection there. Once again, trying to, walk across and just cross-bat that, really, down the ground, and she was never going to get more than one from it. So, last delivery of the over, once again, over the wicket to the right-handed Harmanpreet Kaur. Left arm. And, ooh! I think that's a play and a miss there. And just hope, I think Gushan's come back, so I will add you back, and might take some time for you to be connected. And I think Pakistan have actually appealed that decision. I'm not too sure they're going to get too much from there, but no, they haven't appealed it. But anyway, Gushan, good to have you back. And yeah, India now starting to free themselves and starting to score. What would be your predicted score for India in this first innings? Yeah, take your time. Take your time. And Hanno coming in saying that it could very well be that Pakistan might get an upset, but I'm not too sure that could happen, because I was saying earlier on that if there is a sort of a formation of some rough outside the near the wicket, that could aid India's spinners later on. And India do have some good left arm spinners of their own in their lineup. So I need to update this. My apologies. Let me just.
Yeah, am I audible?
Get that. Yeah, I can hear you clearly, Pudgy. Don't worry about it. So
Okay.
right. So my question to you is, what do you think a good score for India would be on this wicket?
An ideal score will be close to between 130 and 140. I really think that Indian bowling has a lot of new, you can say, bowlers that can take the ball in, swing the ball out. So I think a lot of swing specialists in the Indian teams. I think a decent 140, 150 odd would be enough. Because the thing is that, that Pakistan batting really lacks experience. I was just noticing. I'll be very honest with you. I am not a very, a big watcher of women's cricket when it comes down to Pakistan. So there used to be a batter named as Bisma Maroof that retired last year for the Pakistan team in the ODI World Cup that took place last year. So I don't find any experienced batter as good as Bisma Maroof was there in the Pakistan team. So seriously, they might have some issues in the batting. So I really think that a 141, like close to 130, 140 would be enough. But I still want a couple of anti 150, 160 odd runs. I mean, who doesn't want uh, as many as many runs as possible? Or I mean, as an Indian fan, you want as many runs as possible. So that's the thing.
Yeah, maybe there's a point there. Of course, that third delivery, I think they were thinking of a shout for LBW, but they decided against it. And once again, Nashra Sandhu left arm over the wicket, and the left-handed Mandana plays that all the way down to the long off region, and that will be an easy couple. And you can see right now there hasn't really been that much in terms of. I mean, in this over there hasn't been that much in terms of some very big hits, and I think, for the most part, Fatima Sana has got her field placings spot on. There are always fine margins in T20 cricket, and that is, of course, the 50 partnership, 51 or 45 between the captain and vice-captain, Harmanpreet and Mandana. And this will be the fifth delivery, once again over the wicket, and dancing down the track, playing that expertly over the area between. I mean that's just a wonderful shot, really, from the left-handed Mandana. Classic, shot where you sort of go down the track and have this kind of stand and deliver sort of shot. I think she's going to look to attack these spinners. No, I can't stand that, to be honest with you. Nope. Wouldn't even think of it. And the final delivery, once again, dancing down the track, guiding that sort of down to the deep mid-wicket area for a single. And 9 runs from that over. India are 74 for 2. So you're going to have to excuse me here, Paji, because whenever there's a cricket match or a football match on...
Actually, the reason... sure. Actually, the reason that I asked you that question why you watch UFC is not because I don't know what's the timing in England, but if you look at the timings in India, Germany is playing Curacao at 10 p.m. Then there is Netherlands versus Japan at 1:30. Then before that, we'll have to conclude this game. We'll watch this game. We'll make content on this. We'll complete our discussion. We'll enjoy the watch party. After that, Germany versus Curacao is there at 10 p.m. Then there's Netherlands versus Japan at 1:30 a.m. Then there's Ecuador's match at 4:30 a.m. Then from 5:30 a.m. there's UFC. So there's continuously sporting action round the clock.
Yeah, well, it's just as well that I do not watch UFC. I can't stand that, to be honest with you. And, I've also made a decision to basically focus on the Cricket World Cup. I'm not watching any of the football games. Obviously, I'm keeping up to date with the results. And we see Shamim coming back in, off spinner there. And once again, you see Smriti Mandana dancing down the track. That is much better fielded. And hopefully they'll get 3 here. No, they decide for 2 instead. So I think Smriti... Yeah, take your time. So I think Smriti has now decided that she... I think Smriti has now decided that she wants to basically attack the spinners. She loves dancing down to the spinners and playing these lofted drives. doing that really well. She's now on to 46, one boundary away from a fine half century. Ramin Shamim again, once again dancing down the track. And there doesn't seem to be any kind of, protection for that. And with that boundary, Smriti Mandhana brings up a brilliant half century. And that is really a fine innings from the Indian vice captain. And that sort of gives the edge back to India after that brilliant start by Pakistan. And you could say that this now could very well be the time that India might look to accelerate. And just as well, because the run rate's only slightly above.
Mani, what I think is that
7 over.
I think Smriti Mandhana has decided to go all out. What I can make of is right now that Smriti Mandhana has decided to go all out. I think she is heavily compensating for the slow start that the Indian team had in the first 8 overs. So I think this is the approach that I still feel.
Exactly, that is exactly what I said. She's dancing down the track, playing those lofted drives, and as we both agree, it's now incumbent on both her and Harmanpreet to bring the run rate up, and that's 50 not out of 34 deliveries. Excellent strike rate. And now Ramin Shamim under pressure, and that is very well played indeed. I think that should go. No, it doesn't go the distance. It's one bounce over the long on rope for 4. And Ramin Shamim is now under some serious pressure. 10 runs from 3 balls. A Mandhana masterclass. I'm not too sure she models her batting on the legend that is Anjum Chopra, who was also a fine batswoman for India. And a play and a miss there, I think. I don't think she got the edge. Sort of completely missed it. And so that's one way for Ramin Shamim to come back. But, she does seem to remind me in many ways of how Saurav Ganguly used to play. Definitely he was one of India's best batsmen when it came to playing on the offside for left-handers, also an excellent player of spin. Very nearly a stumping, in fact, but she got her back in time. But when you see Smriti Mandhana play...
Was the score right now for you?
Yeah, listen, I update the score whenever the over ends and whenever there's a wicket. At the moment, it's 84
No,
for 2.
I am asking you what is the current score and balls for you right now. I think for me, it's at 11.3, it's 84 right now, 84 for 2.
Yeah, it is 84 for 2, page? And it's 84 for 2, but it's after 11.4 overs.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're on the same page, don't worry. And so my question to you is, when you see Smriti Mandhana playing, who does she remind you of from, Indian players gone by?
Yeah, I might go very wrong for this one. But I'll be honest, Smriti Mandhana's batting style reminds me of Shikhar Dhawan because, every time she has been playing any international tournament, she has been damn consistent. Shikhar Dhawan used to carry the same consistency that Smriti Mandhana is currently carrying for the women's team. Yeah, different play styles. Shikhar Dhawan was a bit defensive in his approach. Smriti Mandhana was all out. Shikhar Dhawan was used to be a batter who used to carry the innings more. But yeah, I still feel that with the I think she's suffering from cramps.
Yeah, it could be that way. I was saying earlier on, though, that with her playing style, it is a little bit like Ganguly, because Saurav Dada, as we all know, he definitely liked to play on the offside. He was an excellent player of spin, especially enjoyed dancing down the track to the spinners. And so that sort of she does kind of remind me of that in a way, and you're spot on when you say that she is, of course, she's been quite consistent when it comes to international tournaments, and 8 4s and 1 6 in her innings so far, and she's now the second most prolific run scorer in T20 internationals, only behind a certain Susie Bates, who didn't play when New Zealand lost to the West Indies. So she could very well overtake that tally. 2 balls left. And Mandhana ends up guiding that all the way to the point fielder. That's a dot ball. So we see that...
if you look at Mandhana's the thing that I have always liked about Mandhana is the fact that she never overdoes her performances. If you look at Smriti Mandhana, She always continues to carry her in a consistent pace. I think rarest of the rare occasion you have seen her getting under pressure. Okay, most runs for internationals in T20 styles. Smriti Manhan leads for India with 4,387 runs. Fantastic stat. Lucy Bates, I mean, Lucy Bates is a very experienced campaigner for New Zealand. So I think Lucy Bates is currently in a 34s or 35s, I think. So I think with Lucy Bates, I think it's justified with the amount of cricket that she has played.
It's not Lucy, it's Susie, by the way, and you're right. And
Oh
this
yeah,
is, of
sorry, sorry,
course,
sorry, sorry.
it is, of course, her 10th T20 World Cup. She's one of 6 or 7 players to reach that landmark, but she wasn't picked for yesterday's game between the West Indies and New Zealand. And I think New Zealand struggled with their batting, and they definitely struggled with their fielding. About 6 or 7 dropped catches in that game, and as we all know, dropped catches will lose you matches, and that's sort of how it proved. So I think we can still, predict an Indian win because, as you said, and that's the first ball from Sadia Iqbal back into the attack, and that's called a wide. I think Mandana was hoping to sweep that, but she couldn't really get to that. But Sadia, of course, had a very good start, of course, getting the wicket of Shafali Verma. And she's actually bowled a lot better than her figures would
Mani, I have
suggest.
a question for you. I mean, if you look at the current projected run rate, Indian team is likely to hit 142. And if they go on with a 9, they are likely going to be hitting 156. I think if Indian team accelerates, I think if Smriti Manana accelerates, I think that this might turn out to be a 200 odd game also. I think this can be possible because you are 86 for 2. Currently, I think it's 12.1. So you have a decent opportunity. I think you can still turn out because
Yeah.
I think 170, 180 can also be reached easily.
Yeah, well, I'm going to have to cut you there because
fantastic,
actually
sir.
yeah, it was fantastic, but you also have to say that it was
Oh,
exactly. You see, it was dropped, and that's why I say drop catches can lose you matches. She could have caught that easily on the boundary, but she popped it over for a 6. So I think she is starting to accelerate, and once again, just like Ganguly in his heyday, she's dancing down to the spinners, putting Sadia Iqbal under pressure, but it's a single now. That brings Harmanpreet Kaur on strike, and we're going to see how she plays the shot.
But I think it was a very easy catch. I mean, I don't think so that this was any, like a difficult catch. I'll be very honest to you. It was very simple catch.
It was, and now we see Harmanpreet Kaur paddling that all the way down to the fine leg boundary, and that goes for 4. And so, as you say, Gulshan, it could very well be that they will start to accelerate. I don't believe, though, that it will be a 200 score. The only way that can happen is if Pakistan completely disintegrate with their bowling. Because I'll be honest with you, it's a really good acceleration point right now. I think Smithy's really taken the lead, and Harmanpreet has been absolutely willing to, follow. But again, that's 2 dropped catches of Smriti Mandana's bowling.
Money. I have a reason for that. Bharti Fulmali, Richa Ghosh, both are highly aggressive batters. None of both Bharti Fulmali or Richa Ghosh are defensive on their own. They are out and out strikers. So if you look at Bharti Fulmali comes, plays a decent knock of I think 12 balls, 30 runs. I think she can do that. She has done it in the past. Bharti Fulmali is a very good finisher for Indian team. So I think this could really turn to be a 200 game. That's what excites me because if you look at Richa Ghosh hasn't got the runs, but Bharti Fulmali, she has got the form, she has got the runs on. So I don't think so that any of the Indian team management will likely to send Deepti Sharma or any other, like Arundhati Reddy option. So I think they're likely to send Bharti Fulmali on.
It could be, but that shot being played there by Harmanpreet down to the point boundary for 4, and now, of course, this one being played all the way down to mid-off for a single. So that shot has actually brought up India's 100. I think they now should be 100, and they're now 102 for 2. That boundary brought them to 101. So as you mentioned, Bharti coming in at number 5, and as you say, Richa Ghosh might not have the run, so she's down at number 6. But then I don't see either Mandana or Harmanpreet getting out very easily. And especially
I agree.
when you continue, that is brilliant fielding there from the Pakistan captain, Fatima Sana, saving a boundary. But India now starting to motor along, 104 for 4 after 13 overs. So the run rate is now exactly at 8 an over. 19 runs off that over. Very expensive from poor Sadia Iqbal. And as I said, this spinner has bowled a lot better than her figures would suggest. I'm sure you get the idea right now, Paji, that whenever a ball is played and whenever I do a watch along, I go into commentator mode. I commentate on every single ball. So do please forgive me for that.
Yeah. No issues. Yeah, I have a very interesting thing that I have noticed. I think if you look at the outfield, I think outfield is quite fast.
Yes.
Outfield is quite fast.
Yes. So I suppose in many ways, Harmanpreet would have been vindicated with her decision to bat first, because I think, as you say again, with the inexperience that's there in Pakistan's batting lineup, and yes, I remember Bismar Maroof very well, an absolute class batsman for Pakistan over the years. I think a lot will depend on Fatima Sana and maybe one or two other slightly more experienced players, but this is also a very young team with actually one player, Tasmin Rubab, I think, making her debut, and she actually got a wicket off her second ball. It was she who dismissed Jemima Rodrigues earlier on. So, you know, the captain and vice captain have played brilliantly, but now Ramim Shamim has come back into the attack. And, ooh, a lucky escape there for the Indian captain. Very nearly playing onto the stumps there. But Harmanpreet Kaur now, I think she's in her late 30s. For how long do you see her continuing to lead India?
Yeah, probably a 1 or 2 year more. I think her instinct will definitely come to an end. I think she'll continue to be the next version of Mithali Raj. I mean, Mithali Raj also lost the captaincy to Harmanpreet Kaur. After that, she played, I think, close to 3 to 4 years. So I don't think so that that's an issue for Harmanpreet. She can definitely continue as a player. Captaincy, Smriti Mandhana is definitely next. Everybody knows that Smriti Mandhana has the ability to carry the Indian team for next 7 to 8 years. So I think Harmanpreet will definitely continue to be in the Indian team, not as a captain, but definitely as a player who continues to provide that experience in the middle and definitely help the youngsters like Bharti Fulmali or Richa Ghosh, guide through and win games for Indian team.
Okay. Thanks for that. And I think you mentioned Smriti Mandhana. She's played magnificently so far, 64 or 42. She was looking to get down on one leg and sweep that third ball from Ramin Shamim to the leg side, but just completely missing it. And now this is another reason why. I mean, she didn't miss it. She sort of ended up edging that back into the grill of her helmet. So quite painful almost, but I think she's recovered well. And as you say, I think she will end up, becoming captain sooner rather than later. But there's no doubt in my mind that Harmanpreet has been a fabulous servant to Indian cricket and will definitely be remembered as one of the Indian women cricket team's greatest captains, especially for her role in guiding India to that wonderful ODI World Cup win. But we actually did a preview on the channel, though, Gurshan, for this tournament. And myself, Hanno, and our other friend, Janlu, another South African, were saying that India currently now are stuck in the group of death with Australia and South Africa. Some of us were predicting that, India would struggle in this group, and the India-South Africa game, as it stands, could very well end up being the crunch game that decides which team goes through along with Australia and which team doesn't. So are you worried in a way for what might happen in this particular group?
I actually am worried, but I have a gut feeling that India might go through when it comes down to having South Africa. See, the thing is that we have already defeated South Africa in the ODI World Cup. Definitely, that's a different format. Mental pressure, if I talk about the Indian team with the likes of Bharti Fulmali performing very well, Smriti Mandhana, she has touched down to around 70 runs in this game. Harmanpreet has scored close to 50. I think batting doesn't seem to be a concern for the Indian team right now. How does the bowling perform? Renuka Singh's form has been a concern. Nandini Sharma is a new youngster that has been called into the Indian team. I think Indian team definitely doesn't have that kind of bowling quality when it comes down to, we had that in the ODI World Cup, Renuka Singh, prime Renuka Singh in the ODI World Cup scenarios. Definitely, I think Arundhati Reddy with the RCB, what she has done with RCB, definitely. I don't think so that we might have that kind of issue. only thing will be dependent upon how good is Deepti Sharma in. There's still a very big question. People really underestimate Deepti Sharma's role in the Indian team. The 4 overs that she provides, they are the most crucial 4 overs. If that 4 overs turns out to be 2 wickets, 30 runs, or 2 wickets, 27, 28 runs, that's what you want from Deepti Sharma right now. Deepti Sharma is a wicket taking bowler. She has always provided you the wickets first. So if you look at Deepti Sharma, if Deepti Sharma gets the breakthrough in, you have got all the bowlers lined up who can definitely pounce on that and actually perform on that base. So I think Deepti Sharma's role will be very dependent upon how much this campaign goes for the Indian team. Deepti Sharma bowling is a very big concern. It's a very big important thing for Deepti Sharma. Deepti Sharma performs, Indian team goes through. Bowling, definitely Nandi Sharma, Arundhati Reddy, a lot of new youngsters, new faces in. But I really say one thing. Deepti Sharma is Ravindra Jadeja of Indian team. She is Ravindra Jadeja of Indian women's team. She definitely provides you exact same quality, exact same spin bowling quality, exact same batting quality. So I think heavily dependent upon Deepti Sharma's performance. If she performs, definitely, easily, why not?
Okay, well, I'm glad you see it that way, because obviously when you take a look at how South Africa struggled against Australia, I mean, they suffered a pretty heavy defeat, barely getting over 100 runs in reply to Australia's 170 odd. And, you know, they've got some problems within their team as well, especially with the batting order. So it could very well be that they might struggle as well. You know, we also were basically predicting that maybe India would struggle. And also, when you take a look at how well how India performed against South Africa when they played their bilateral series not too long before this tournament, I was thinking that maybe South Africa had the measure of them. But I think there are some structural issues now within the South African team. So if India make a statement win, I think South Africa will need to watch out. And Mandana once again dancing down the track, playing that beautifully all the way down past the cover fielder, all the way to the cover boundary. And once again, Ramin Shamim under some slight pressure. But then this is really Smriti Mandana at her best. And as you say, I think she is, of course, the linchpin of this Indian side. But Harmanpreet Kaur with 31 providing some great support there. And take a look at that. I think that was just not necessarily a bad delivery, but when you've got Mandana in that sort of form, she sees the ball like a football right now, it has to be said. And another one. And the commentator's curse strikes. I think she went for one big shot. Yeah, she went for one big shot too many, and now she's holed out. Great innings, but I think she'll be disappointed.
Actually,
she wanted to stay.
Actually, I'm one ball behind you.
Yeah, but so you've just seen the best, and now you've seen the worst. And I think, you know, it looks a little bit cross-battered, really, and she wasn't able to get the elevation.
Agreed.
So the Indian vice captain departs. India 193 after 13.5.
But it's a good innings. It's a
great
good innings.
Great innings. I agree. You've got to give her credit. It was a great innings. I think she would have loved to have gotten a century.
I'll be honest to you, money. I'll be honest to you, I'll be honest to you. What else do you want? The thing that I wanted from Smriti Mandana was, you had a poor start. Hopefully, she recovers herself. She gets the runs in. She takes India from that troublesome spot to a favorable spot where India has the runs in. Now I think India definitely out of that troublesome spot. You have got a couple of runs on the board. I think from right now, any batter that comes in, Bharti Fulmani, Richa Ghosh, any batter that comes in, I think they can definitely carry the momentum in. Smriti Mandana has done the hard. Now it's the finishers that have to do their job.
Yeah, well, Fulmani has just come in and she's played the final delivery all the way down to square leg for a single. And India now 110 for 3 after 14 overs. And now we're going to see more of this lady. She's only had about 6 innings so far. And according to you, she's definitely a very powerful hitter who can be a really good finisher. So this is the first opportunity for international audiences to see her in action. And I mean, maybe not the first necessarily, but I'm going to get to see her in action. And, you know, she's also right-handed. I wonder how she's going to play against some of the seamers, because we've also seen a trend in this tournament that captains don't really bowl some of their bowlers for continuous spells. They'll give them maybe 1 or maximum 2 overs and then bring some new bowlers in to try to sort of break the rhythm and not let the batswomen get comfortable. And it is Sadia Iqbal coming back into the attack, and Bharti is, of course, now on strike, but all she does is fend that straight to the I think that's more of a backward slip field, if you will, for a dot ball. And so you probably will have seen Bharti Fulmali more than me and some other viewers. Tell me a little bit more about her, please.
See, I'll be honest to you. I haven't seen the England series that took place before the World Cup, but I've definitely seen her perform in the WPL. So from what I've seen in the WPL, I can definitely make sure, and I can tell the audience that she's an out-and-out striker. She has a lot of runs. She has a lot of, you can say, range of strokes. She's very good when it comes down to playing the ball on the leg side. Bharti Fulmali, power is a very interesting element. I think people have been mistaking her power for her elegance. She's very good when it comes down to playing cover drives also. Definitely she has got that power in. But I think that Bharti Fulmali, the most important thing is that pressure. Pressure handling is a thing that every finisher needs to focus on. You have seen it when it comes down to Dhoni. You have seen it when it comes down to Glenn Maxwell. All the best finishers of world cricket. One thing that is common among all of them is how they handle pressure. Same comes down to Bharti Fulmali. Same comes down to how she performs under pressure. Last time also the 52-run knock that she played, it was completely under pressure. So Bharti Fulmali, when I look at Bharti Fulmali, the most interesting thing is, except her elegance, except her power, the most important thing is how she performs under pressure. I think that is what Indian team requires right now. She can definitely take this score easily from 110 to 170, 180, and she's got.
Well, she could have taken that score, my friend, but she ended up getting stumped out off her second ball. So you say that she's an out-and-out striker. She is, of course, now out and back to the pavilion. But in comes Richa Sharma to replace Fulmali, and it's a gorgeous square cut all the way to the point boundary for 4, and that is how you recover from losing a wicket. So if not this match, hopefully we'll see.
I want to tell the audience. I want to tell the audience. I'll actually remember that anecdote from the ODI World Cup. So after Indian team won the ODI World Cup, I had a conversation with Richa Ghosh's father regarding media wide. I wanted to have an interview. So I think what excites me about Richa Ghosh is the fact that she's very grounded. She's very grounded. Her father talked to me for almost close to half an hour. We had discussions, we had meetups. Definitely that Richa Ghosh bite didn't came in, but definitely the conversation that I had with her father, she's a very, very down-to-earth person. She's come from a very, very humble Bengali background. And I think in cricket, if you want to survive for a lot of years, your ego, your other things, the most important thing is how grounded and how hardworking you are. And she's absolutely 10 on 10 on that.
Yeah, well, certainly, India will need her grounded personality, and that boundary will have helped her. India now 115 for 4 with the run rate just below 8. And so, so she will definitely have a big role to play, and she has a strike rate of 144. So she will now be expected to support her captain and hopefully drive them towards a total. It could very well go up to about 150 or 160 if they continue to score some boundaries. But I've got to say, aside from a few bad deliveries that have cost them, the Pakistani bowling has been amazing. And, had their fielding been better, it would have been definitely a lot more. But a wild swing there from Fulmali. I think she went down the track but never got to the ball. And that's as easy a stumping as Muniba Ali will be able to do. So all I can say is tough luck, Bharti. Better luck in the next game. And there will be some opportunities for her. Last ball of the over.
Hey, Mani, I have a question for you. What do you think will the role of Harmanpreet Kaur from right now will be? Will she continue to attack or will she continue to play an anchor knock from right now?
I think, Gulshan, she will probably have to play the anchor knock because you mentioned Fulmali and now Richa Ghosh coming in. They're going to be expected to play the role of the finishers, so to speak. They'll need to be the ones who will be the aggressors. Don't get me wrong. Harmanpreet Kaur has shown that she can accumulate some good runs. She does play the sweep very well and some good, square drives and cuts. I don't think Harmanpreet will take the aerial route necessarily, but she might be the one who will end up just dropping anchor and playing and allowing the likes of Richa Ghosh and others to play their game. And India now 117 for 4 after 15 overs, so slightly again below 8 and over. But again, they're in a decent position now. They just lost a few too many wickets, I think, and that's really frustrating. And of course, their next fixture will be against the Netherlands at Headingley on Wednesday. And Nashra Sandhu coming back into the attack, and nicely played by Richard Ghosh, but only for a single down to the extra cover fielder. And so these next 5 overs, so to speak, will be the overs where they, as you will know, establish themselves. We talk about Richard Ghosh's skill scale. Definitely a very powerful hitter. Not very well controlled at the best of times, but I think, again, to further answer your question, she might be expected to be the one who will provide that type of impetus down the order while Harmanpreet drops anchor. She's still not out, Harmanpreet, 32 off 30. If she ends up with a half century, I think it'll be a job well done. But I think, once again, 2 dot balls in succession now from Nashra Sandhu. I think the spinners so far have exerted quite a bit of pressure, and with Mandana getting out now, it's going to be interesting to see how well the Indian batswomen play the Pakistan spinners, because now we see a sweep shot there, and that doesn't go to the boundary, but they will come back for a second. That one hit straight to cow corner, and that should be an overthrow, I think, which gives them another single. Nope, they opt against it. It's all about the fielding, Baji. It's all about the fielding, isn't it?
$100% agree. 100% agree. But I really think
Okay.
that the
Go ahead.
Pakistan team is slightly poor on a part. I mean, the first catch that Pakistan dropped of Shafali Verma, of Smriti Manana, I don't think so that was a catch, I'll be very honest to you. I mean, they have played the footage of the 2 drop catches. I really think that the first one wasn't a drop catch. I mean, it was a very tough catch of Smriti Manana.
It was tough, I agree. It was tough, I completely agree. But as far as the second one was concerned, she was at the,
Second one was
long
a very
boundary. That was a dolly. She should have caught that, definitely. Last delivery of the over. And once again, Harmanpreet playing the sweep. And this time, once again, brilliantly fielded. That is an improvement. You want to see players diving on the ball and making sure they're in control of that. And after 16 overs, India are 122 for 4, 5 runs from the over. So once again, we see the Pakistan spinners and fielders just trying their best to dry up the runs now. And it could very well be that without the impetus that Mandana provided with that brilliant knock of hers, India might struggle to get a very, very big total. But I think if they do get to 150 or 160, that should very well be a match-winning total, because India have some good spinners of their own, and they may take advantage of some of the rough outside the wicket in the second innings, I would say.
Yeah, agreed, definitely.
Yeah, well, the projected score currently, they could get
They can very well.
152.
The thing is that they can very well take this one from I think a 120 odd to a decent 160, 170. But the way that Pakistan have made a comeback in this match, that has been absolutely amazing, absolutely a delight to watch. 2 quick wickets, and after that they have hold on to the runs also. The runs were flowing on, but then they have got a decent pause on that.
Yeah, and that was a sort of a lofted shot, went straight over the fielder there from Richard Ghosh. And here you see the graphic of Mandana's boundaries, basically using her feet, dancing down the track. And it really does. I mean, the way she holds her bat, the way she dances down, she really does remind me of Saurav Ganguly at her finest. He also basically played with a sort of a stand and deliver stance where he lifted the bat off the floor, basically. So great stuff, of course, from Mandana. And that is another lofted. Oh, not the best of shots, and the Indian captain has to depart. I think she was looking for a 6 or a 4 down to square leg, but this time, I think it's Natalia Pervez who takes that catch. And with the Indian skipper departing, India are now 123 for 5. What do they do from here?
Sorry, I didn't hear that. Sorry,
No, I
sorry,
was just
sorry.
saying, I was just saying now, the Indian captain has now been dismissed. She was looking for a boundary on the square leg, but all she did was
Yeah,
find
yeah.
Natalia Padres, the fielder. So the big question now is India 123 for 5, 3.4 overs remaining. What do they do from here?
I really think that playing 20 overs is a very important task for this team right now, because they because the way that the wickets have been falling on, I don't want that Indian team gets all out under like under 20 overs.
I don't think anybody would want that. And we now see Deepti Sharma coming in, another left-hander, coming in at number 7. I think she definitely has the ability to play a role down at number 7. The only problem is this could very well be the last recognised partnership before we go down to the bowlers. Arundhati Reddy, Shriyanka Patil, Sri Charani, and the fast bowler, Kranti Gaud. So, Pakistan with the bit between their teeth. Baki Masana, right arm round the wicket to the left-hander Deepti Sharma, who plays that all the way down to deep mid wicket. That should be an easy couple, and they take that. And yeah, so you were mentioning that Deepti Sharma will have an important role to play. As you've mentioned, she is now the Ravindra Jadeja of the Indian team. Just a replay of that shot there from Harmanpreet Kaur, which found the fielder. And that's great composure there from Natalia Padres to take that catch. But you were saying, Gurshan, that Deepti Sharma is effectively the Ravindra Jadeja of the team. What are you hoping from her now that she's at the crease?
And I'm hoping that she carries the innings, gets India to a close to 160, 170. I think it's definitely possible with the close to 4 overs remaining. I think India's first task would be to get the runs on. And after that, I think Deepti Sharma's role in this knock would be definitely to make sure that Richa Ghosh gets as much strike as possible. You might sound very awful with the statement that I gave, because I want that Richa Ghosh gets maximum strike as possible, because she's again same thing, out and out striker, fantastic finisher. Deepti Sharma is not as good as Richa Ghosh when it comes down to hitting the ball far. So I think Richa Ghosh getting maximum strike after this thing will be very much important for the Indian team.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you right now that Richa Ghosh is on strike after that single by Deepti Sharma down to mid-off. And also some more graphics talking about the interception points against Pakistan. I think in the first 20 balls, she was a little bit more circumspect, but after the first 20, she really, came into her own, started dancing down. Last delivery of the over from the
And I
Pakistan
have
captain,
never
Fatima
seen
Sana. And
I
that's going to
have
be a
never
wide, and
pointed
that
this
could...
out, but
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah. No, actually, I have never pointed this out, but I really feel that Deepti Sharma's batting stance isn't that good when it comes down to playing the aggressive shots in. Because if you look at Deepti Sharma, I think the shoulder that she drops, forces her to play on the offside a lot. So when it comes down to playing those big shots in, she need to get the power on. So for that power on, I don't think so that Deepti Sharma is sticking too deep at the crease. So for Deepti Sharma to make the long shots on, to make that powerful cover tries, to make that powerful, elegant long shots, I think it's very important for her to make sure that she's available to play the shots on all directions. I think Deepti Sharma sits too deep when it comes down to playing the ball in. So I think that limits her shots to, like a kind of a more cover drive area. So I think that if Deepti Sharma focuses on that, okay, I won't sit too deep, I open my stance up, I think she can definitely hit the ball on the leg side also. Currently, with the stance that Deepti Sharma is playing on, she is forced to play on the offside.
I agree completely. And obviously, Richa Ghosh playing that last ball down to square leg for a couple. You could say that she saved the boundary, the fielder there, but there was also a slight misfield which gave them an extra run. So that means Deepti Sharma will be back on strike, and that's a really good observation there, I want to say. So we're going to see right now in these upcoming overs and balls just how she plays. And you mentioned about how her stance is not really open enough to, facilitate some really big hitting. Well, it is going to be Nashra Sandhu who will bowl her final over. 3 overs. She hasn't taken any wickets, but she's conceded 22 runs at just above 7 and over. reasonably economical, but not really looked like taking many wickets. And first ball is easily guided all the way down to the mid-wicket area, and that should be an easy two, and they should get it. Leave Ali there breaking the wicket. So, yeah, so I think it's fair to say, as you would agree, I think what you're trying to say, Gulshan, is that DP's role will be to try and keep the scoreboard ticking and just give Richa Ghosh more of the strike. And she's certainly playing her role very well.
Exactly.
Yeah, that throw needs to be more on target there, and that could have resulted in maybe some problems. But Deepti Sharma, to her credit, dived back quite well indeed. Nashla Sandhu, as I've said, not very threatening in terms of taking wickets, and that was a fine delivery there, catching the batsman in two minds whether or not to cut or try and play that to the leg, and all she did was fend that to the forward point fielder. And so this has been a very, very, very disciplined show of bowling and fielding there. A possible chance for a run out, but not at that end. Needs to be down at the bowler's end, really, because I think it's fair to say that Richa Ghosh wanted to get back on strike as soon as possible. Deepti might have been a bit slow, but India get their single, and now Richa Ghosh is back on strike. And these last three balls from Nashla Sandhu, I think Richa Ghosh will definitely want to target them and try and get some big hits. Well, an attempted sweep, played and missed. Two balls to go. Nashla Sandhu, left arm round the wicket to the right-handed coach, and she tries to cut that, but only succeeds in playing that to the point fielder. And so with one ball to go, this has been an excellent over from Nashla Sandhu. She could end it with an economy rate of just over 6, and that would be a brilliant ending for her. Once again, round the wicket. Ghosh needs to hit, and once again, she only finds the cover fielder this time. And so after 18 overs, Gulshan, India are 132 for 5, and they are struggling. So it looks
Definitely
like
not the 200s. Definitely not the 200s.
Yeah. I still think India should have the edge because, again, Harmanpreet Kaur, we saw her walking towards, I think, probably one of the changing rooms. I'm not too sure. She probably felt a bit disconsolate playing that shot. I don't know if she needed some medical help, but again, how she and Mandana will, organize the bowling and the fielding will definitely be key to what happens in this match because Pakistan's batting, as you say, is still very, very inexperienced. And in fact, mind you, a lot will rest on the captain, Fatima Sana. I think she's in the team as a number 7 batsman, basically a bowling all-rounder, so to speak. But pretty inexperienced top order there. I don't know if they're very prolific either, but it is Tasmia Rubab to bowl her final over, and she has been superb today. Left arm over the wicket to the left-handed Deepti Sharma, and she hoiks that all the way down to the backward square leg boundary for a 4. And that's not going to please the Pakistan left arm seamer one bit. So again, these are very useful runs. And I kind of get what you're saying. That wasn't necessarily a very confident or comfortable shot there from Deepti, but it got the runs that India would need. But Tasmia has bowled very, very well today. Cannot be denied. Attempted short ball there, and that's played all the way to square leg. And that will be cut off. They're hoping for a second run. They should get it comfortably. No, they decide against it, I think. Just the one. And so just one question for you. One of the things which I was talking about with regard to Tasmia Rubab was that when she'd bowl, basically the seam position would be a bit different. Her fingers would be sort of across the seam as opposed to being along the seam.
Yeah.
So in your observation, what sort of advantage would you have if you put your fingers across the seam as opposed to doing them along the seam?
Yeah, I'll be very honest too. I'm not good at that. And I can definitely analyze the batting, because the thing is that I've been a batter myself, so I can tell you the batting dynamics. I'm not good at analyzing the bowling dynamics. Sorry to say.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough. That's fair enough. And we were talking about, DP's approach. It is Rishabh Ghosh on strike now. Beautifully cut. Actually, that's a wonderful lofted sort of drive, so to speak. And that splits the cover in mid-off field, and that goes all the way to the boundary. So that is the type of shot you would want to see there from Rishabh Ghosh. And if you see the replay, maybe you can talk us through that particular shot right there.
I think a very fantastic shot. Very fantastic shot. I think definitely the runs are coming on. And if you look at the current scoreline, it's I think 137 for 5. Another fantastic shot. I think, will it clear the boundary? Yeah, it will clear the boundary. 147. Sorry, 141.
Yeah,
Fantastic
141. I
fantastic
think you
shot.
jumped the gun there. But this is a shot there which could either bring... Yep, that is a 6. So maybe in some cases you're ahead, and that really... Yeah, you are a bit clairvoyant there, aren't you? So, as you've said, Rishabh Ghosh now has a big role to play, 20 off 11. And that is now 15 runs off that over. So that really spoils Tasmia Rubab's figures. She has bowled wonderfully today, but I think, and there was no way the captain, Fatima Sana, was going to get that. Just well above her, and that was placed very well indeed. And then attempted slower ball there. Once again, that's sort of, you could say, another lofted cut, and that's gone down to the third man boundary for 4. I was actually saying earlier on, though, that when you put your fingers across the seam, you don't get that much in terms of seed movement, but you do have that sort of bumper effect, really, which sort of, it comes at you with speed and then sort of almost spits at you in a way. And you see there Rishabh Ghosh taking a huge toll off Tasmia Rubab's final over there and really spoiling her figures. The poor girl has bowled beautifully in her debut T20 international, but I think 19 runs off this over so far. She's not going to want to look back on this last one. Last delivery, round the wicket. And Ghosh plays that all the way down to the deep mid-wicket boundary for 4. And as tragic as it is, you've just got to take your hat off to Rishabh Ghosh, I should say. And you called it, Rishabh. Rishabh's now come to the party, hasn't she?
Yeah. Yeah, I sure agree. I think definitely the runs have been coming on. And yeah, bang on, straight on. Which has come to the party. I think, yeah, definitely. 170 can be a possible score, right? What happened on the last ball, I don't remember. One second. I think it was a 4, no?
Yeah. Like
Yeah,
it was
a 4.
basically, so fifth ball, it was sort of a lofted cut, sort of a misplayed cut, really, down to third man for 4. And then this last one was down to the deep mid-wicket boundary for a 4. So we're into the last over, and I think, you could be right. 170 could very well be on, and that is, of course, India's best over of the innings. 23 from that. So, it's harsh on the bowler who's bowled magnificently today, but this is what happens when you get to the final overs of the T20 innings. And now we have the captain, Fatima Sana, who also had conceded 18 runs from 3 overs. Bowling now to Deepti Sharma. Right arm round the wicket.
Yeah.
And a sort of a cross-batted heave there, but that goes all the way down to deep mid-wicket for just the 1. So not very quick at running between the wickets, or maybe they decided, Deepti will just take a single and give Rishabh the strike. And you can see there, Rishabh Ghosh really going to town and using her stance to good effect there. Some very powerful hits. and that really took a huge toll off the debutants' final over. But this has been a very good recovery now from India. They should get a competitive total here. We did see, of course, when New Zealand played that 162 was not really a competitive total, but this Pakistan team isn't really that experienced, as you say. And that second ball is, well, attempted slower ball from over the wicket. I think an attempted leg break slower ball played all the way down to the area between deep fine leg and backward square leg for another boundary. And that brings India to 160. So 170 still very much on, Budgie.
Definitely. Why not?
And that takes Richa to 32 off 14 with a strike rate of well over 200. So, yep, she's definitely been, India's trump card so far. How well can she play now? A very well bowled slower ball, though.
Deepti Sharma hasn't scored a boundary. Deepti Sharma's only role was to come and provide the singles to Richa Ghosh, and she has done that.
No, Deepti actually did. Yes, but she did score a boundary actually off.
I remember.
She did score one boundary off the previous over, and then one single later she gave the strike to Richa Ghosh. But then now we're seeing the replays of the wickets, and so Fatima Sana again after that dot ball, she's got 3 left. That's going to be a wide, and that's going to go all the way down to the boundary for 4 wides. So it's around about this time, my friend, that where the closer you get to the end of the innings, the more the bowlers start to crack under the pressure a bit. And you can see that Fatima's feeling the heat now. And Munib Ali not able to retrieve that, and that goes right beyond her. And that's a wide and 4, so that's 5 runs to the total.
You can definitely touch 175 also. Why not?
I think you can now. 5 off 3, it should be very easy. We're just seeing that there's a packed offside field, and that's the thing. When you have a packed offside field, you cannot bowl to batsman's leg side. Well called. Still 3 balls left. And those 10 extras will probably be what costs Pakistan, along with some other, drop catches as well. We always say it, drop catches will lose you matches. And coming down the track there, and I don't think this is going to go to the boundary. The fielders should stop that, but if they are fast enough in their running between the wickets, they should get 3. In the end, they opt for the safety of 2, which keeps Richa Ghosh on strike. So 2 balls left. Richa's eyes are open wide. You can tell that she... And that's the end of her innings.
The last shot was
very
elegant one.
Yep, but her innings has now come to an end. Still a strike rate of exactly 200, but Richa Ghosh has played her part. Bowled by the Pakistan captain Fatima Sana for a breezy 34. India are now 160. Yeah. 1 ball to go. Excellent delivery under the circumstances. Sort of keeping low, not really allowing Richa a chance to strike. But she's played her part in getting India to what could very well be a match-winning total. 34 off 17. Very well played.
Yeah, definitely. I think even this, I'll be very honest with this score was also a very decent one. I mean, when we started off, we were expecting a 140, 150. It has gone on to 170. I think it's a huge positive from this.
Oh, definitely. And now we see Shreyanka Patil coming up the order to face the final delivery. She'll have one ball. Let's see if she can make the most of this. And that's going to be another wide. Once again, the Pakistan captain completely straying with her line. Not very good here. And but then that is the type of delivery you want to bowl, especially in the lower orders, I think, in the last overs. Keeping low, and I think Richa went for one big shot too many. Last delivery of the over, or will this be another extra? We've had 3 wide deliveries this over already. Attempting the reverse sweep, and they're going for a single. It could very well be a bye, but that takes India to 160, I think, at 170.
Yeah, 170.
But wait a minute. Well, this is going for a review, though. I'm not too sure why, but we're going to find out what happens here.
Yeah.
Are they claiming an LBW? Well, it actually hits Sri Lanka Patil on her glove. It hits her glove. And was it caught by the wicketkeeper? No, I think they were probably appealing for an LBW shout, but that is, of course, no. They've increased it now to 170. So 170 after 20 overs. And so Pakistan will need 171 runs to win at the rate of 8.55 and over. And this is one thing which I do kind of like about the, the T20 format, because when it comes to calculating the run rate and everything, it becomes very, very straightforward indeed. So this is the situation. India have managed to get 107. Hold on. That's much better. I still sometimes have to get to grips with this thing, making the banners and everything.
Yeah. So Pakistan is 171.
Yep.
Mani, just give me a second. I'll make a short content piece and I'll come right now.
Yeah, you take your time. Take your time.
Yeah.
So this is, of course, the state of the play as we know it. India now 176 after 20 overs. And Pakistan will need to score 171 runs at 8.55 and over. And we're going to hear from one of the coaches now of Pakistan. Okay, so that was the Pakistan head coach Wahab Riaz, the former left-arm seamer, of course, who was playing for Pakistan all too recently. I think he retired a bit early. And we're seeing the India scorecard. One big score, 3 good contributions. But apart from that, Shafali, Verma, Jemima Rodriguez and Bharti Fulmali, I think they failed, it has to be said. And not exactly a second ball duck, but it was a 3-ball 1 for Fulmali, so she was a bit of a disappointment. And, you've got to take your hat off to the Pakistan bowlers who bowled wonderfully throughout the innings, but just near the end, I think they started to leak a few boundaries. Tasmia Rubab in particular, wonderful stuff from her debut, but in the end, I think Richa Ghosh pretty much, took us to the cleaners, it has to be said. And so it will be a challenge now, and I think Wahab Riyad still has some faith in his batswomen to do the job, but we will obviously, find out a little bit more as it progresses. And of course, just a recap that Harmanpreet Kaur won the toss, opted to bat first, and then saw Smriti Mandana power her way to an excellent 68. Memories, of course, of Saurav Ganguly and his pump. But there were wickets that were taken at reasonably regular intervals, and the partnership certainly between Mandana and Harmanpreet brought India, still very much within it. And then, of course, Richa Ghosh came in and provided some late innings fireworks. Wonderful day over in Birmingham, and very impressive stadium, of course, Edgbaston. Obviously, Lords had hosted the first men's test between England and New Zealand, which was a pretty poor test for the batsmen, and it received a lot of criticism for the quality of the pitch. So they're probably going to, just reset that and keep that ready for the final. Until then, these other grounds like Edgbaston, Old Trafford, and Southampton will get their share of games. And let me just recap for you what happened in the earlier T20 international. Bangladesh played the Netherlands also at Edgbaston, and the Netherlands got to a total of 139 for 8. Not necessarily the most threatening total. Captain Babette de Leyder top scoring with a fine innings of 50 off 45 before being run out. And not too many others contributing, a few double figures, but nothing really much into that. And I think, wickets at regular intervals really stopped the Netherlands from getting anything like a really imposing total. And 2 wickets there for Marufa Akhtar, the fast bowler, and a wicket apiece for the others. So they did their job, and 2 run-outs also helped immeasurably, it had to be said. 3 run-outs, I should say. Just taking a look at the scorecard, I think there might be a discrepancy here, maybe. No discrepancies. 2 run-outs also helping out their cause. And Pakistan now, thanks to Richa Ghosh's onslaught, will have to record the highest successful chase in T20 World Cups in order to win today. And of course, that record is still held by England, although the West Indies did give England a great run for their money yesterday, thanks to Shemaine Campbell's excellent knock of 90 not out. She was there at the end. And then, of course, back to Bangladesh against the Netherlands. A fine 50 at the top of the order from Juaria Ferdows. 37 from Sharmin Akhtar. A golden duck for Captain Nigar Sultana. She wouldn't have really enjoyed that. Captain and wicketkeeper, of course. And the other batswomen sort of did their job, really, and New Zealand were never really in the contest. And 2 wickets, of course, for Caroline de Lange. And Silva Seegers there with 1. The others just weren't really able to take too many wickets. So Bangladesh, as expected, beating the Netherlands by 6 wickets. And I will, in fact, share a recap of that score for you. Just hold on, please. Yep, Bangladesh women winning there by 6 wickets. player of the match, of course, was the Bangladeshi opening batswoman Ferdous with that fine innings of 50 off 33. So, all in all, you could say that despite some wonderful bowling from Pakistan, India actually will be a lot more satisfied, and they have put up a very, very imposing total. And of course, given the relative inexperience of the Pakistan team, it's quite hard to see where the runs will be coming from. But again, a lot will depend on how the Indian bowlers will bowl. And of course, he's back. Not Gulshan just yet. He will be coming back. But of course, time to welcome on my host with the most and the man behind this channel, Hanno Trollope. And Hanno, how's it to you? And how... Whoops. Hold on a minute, please. Yeah, you there, bud?
Just 2 seconds. 2 seconds.
Okay, take your time. Take your time. Yeah, so once again, we're having a recap of the Indian innings. Basically, Smriti Mandhana at the top of the order, the star of the show. Harmanpreet Kaur providing some fine support to her deputy, and Richa Ghosh near the end, smacking the ball around with a strike rate of 200. But the other batswomen, Shafali Vadma, Jemima Rodrigues, and Bharti Fulmali, just failing more than anything else. And once again, the bowlers, they performed wonderfully, but just later on in the innings, they conceded a few runs too many. And as a result, Pakistan are now faced with the prospect of having to get the highest chase in world T20 history. And of course, South Africa fourth in the table, well behind on run rate, behind the Netherlands, of course, although you think that you would think definitely that when South Africa play the Netherlands, that balance will be redressed in a way. Australia, of course, sitting pretty. And this is, of course, the group of death with one out of India or South Africa expected to be eliminated from semi-final contention. Now, this has turned out to be a pretty good stream, obviously, with Gulshan coming on and sharing his insights, and of course we've got Hanno as well. So we've also got some more comments, of course. We've got some Shush coming in. India getting to a big score, getting to a big total thanks to Richa Ghosh, absolutely. And not quite the big score from Harmanpreet that you were hoping for, Janlu, but she played her part, definitely. And I'm not too sure that Pakistan will get an upset, but because they still have to get the highest ever chase in World Cup history, T20 World Cup history. But it will be interesting to see again how the Indian bowlers bowl. And as Gulshan pointed out earlier on in the commentary, the inexperience of the Pakistani women will sort of come to the fore here. And now, almost immediately, we see the Indian fielders coming out to the circle, and we see the Pakistan openers coming out to bat. And we're going to just just refresh this. Let's take a look at the scorecard and see who will be opening the batting. It looks as though it could very well be the wicketkeeper Muniba Ali and Gul Feroza who will be opening. And yes, that is Muniba Ali there, the wicketkeeper, left-handed batswoman. Actually, you know what? On second thoughts, Hanno, I am actually going to stay, but you are more than welcome to come on and do some work with me. And we will have, of course, Gulshan coming back in, because by the time this ends, it's not going to, and this is going to be the last match for the day, and I will have time to catch some dinner, and I won't be going hungry. And I had a pretty decent meal a couple of hours before, so I'm quite well fed, so to speak. But if you are back, Hanno, do please unmute yourself and join in the commentary. Well, I'll tell you what, I will, once you come back, you can add yourself to the stage. Okay, 2 minutes. So, let me just, already got that set. It is, in fact, Muniba Ali Siddiqui and Gul Feroza who will be opening the innings. Muniba Ali, of course, the wicket-keeper, the spectacled wicket-keeper, left-handed batswoman. 1,600 runs, more or less bang on there. And she will definitely have a role to play in terms of being able to provide a more than decent start to the innings. And it is Arundhati Reddy, the right-arm fast bowler, who will be bowling. I'm not sure you could necessarily call her express pace, but she definitely can provide some good movement, so to speak. Right, so it is Muniba Ali to face the first ball of the innings from Arundhati Reddy. Right arm over the wicket to the left-handed Muniba Ali. And that's a nice lofted cut there from the wicketkeeper, and that goes all the way down to the third man boundary for 4. So basically, Pakistan saying, anything you can do, India, we can do almost as well. You started with a 6 off the first ball, we start with a 4. And a sort of a loosener there from Arundhati Reddy, short, wide, and it had "Slice Me" written all over it, so to speak. And the best possible start almost the best possible start. The 6 would have been better. How does Arundhati respond to this? Still over the wicket. And that's sort of onto Muniba's pads, and she guides that all the way down to the backward square leg region. I think she was hoping for a second, but her partner said no. Gul Feroza, her partner. And so it's going to be incumbent on the Indian bowlers to make sure they get the right start. They'll definitely want to do what Pakistan did and take a wicket in the first over, if they can. Still right arm over the wicket, but this time to the right-handed Gul Feroza. And that's also drifting down the leg, and is that going to be called a wide? Well, it actually hit the wicket-keeper, Richard Ghosh, and went away. And it looks as though I think it's been signaled a single, because Gul Feroza did play that onto the wicketkeeper, and they got a run out of it. It's Muniba Ali again, and she sort of tips that down more into the forward point region, and that would be another single. So decent start this for Pakistan. Another reminder that if Pakistan were to win, they will have to perform to pull off the highest ever run chase. Claire Polasak, who was, of course, the third umpire when England played Sri Lanka in the first match of the tournament. And of course, Jacqueline Williams in her 91st T20 international. I believe she was one of the on-field umpires for that game, and certainly has played a big role in this tournament so far. Dot ball on the 5th ball. It's Gul Feroza facing the last ball of the over. India won a wicket. And is that going to be called a wide? Yes, it is. So that brings Pakistan's total to 8. And already we see Arundhati Reddy struggling to try and get the ball really on the spot, struggling with her line there, drifting a little bit. There is potential for some swing, but I'm not too sure she might be able to get it. Last delivery. And that's going to be a dot ball played all the way down to the mid-wicket fielder. So after the first over, Pakistan are 8 for no loss and need another 163 to pull off what would be a magnificent chase if they do it. Another reminder, they need to score 171 runs at 8:55 and over. They bowled magnificently for the most part, but they just weren't quite able to restrict India in the end, and some late hitting from Richa Ghosh gave them a very imposing total. India, of course, 170 for 6 after 20 overs, with vice-captain Smriti Mandhana top scoring with a wonderfully attacking 68 and some useful contributions of 36 and 34 from Harmanpreet Kaur and Richa Ghosh respectively. Shreyanka Patil now, right arm, off break. Round the wicket to the left-handed Muniba Ali, who swung at that and completely missed it. And you can see there that ball sort of going straight on there, and an ill-advised sweep, it has to be said, from Muniba Ali. Shreyanka Patil with 29 wickets from her 23 games so far for India. And Muniba started well, but she will need to maintain her composure. A lot will be expected from her. Second delivery. And you can see right now that with the off-spinner bowling round the wickets of the left-hander, that there is, of course, a slip brought very close to the wicket-keeper. And that's the thing. Whenever you have an off-spinner bowling, you want the edge. And there might have been a nick there, but that was dropped by the wicket-keeper coach. And that was a bit wide, and that was played very well indeed to the deep cover region. A single. There might have been a faint edge. I'll tell you what, that could have been a wicket. So Shreyanka Patil knows that she was very close to making an early breakthrough. Now she changes her angle, going round over the wickets of the right-hander. And yes, my host with the most. Bullet, what do you think of the first innings? Pakistan bowled brilliantly, but India fighting back to get a big total. You said that Pakistan could cause an upset. Do you stand by that?
I still think they can do if they start well. They need to start well. That's the main thing. Start well, and then maybe, who knows?
Yeah. I mean, so far they've got a right-left combination at the crease, but Muniba seems to be struggling against the off-spinner. And this fifth ball is sort of prodded back. No real conviction in that. You always love to see cricketers playing with glasses on. It sort of gives hope to guys like you and me that we can still do it if we want to. Last delivery of the over. And that's sort of guided down the leg side all the way to I mean, fine.
Like
You could say that that was,
yeah.
yeah.
Sorry.
And so,
Sorry for that.
no, but as I was saying, I mean, it's nice to see that people still play with glasses. So as I was saying as a joke, it gives hope to people like you and me that if we want to, we can still do it. Okay?
Yeah, no. When I play, we play like a night league, and yeah, I just play with my. About it's not like proper professional, so I bet without the helmet and with the glasses, and so yeah.
Yeah. Better to play cricket with glasses than football because I mean, if you catch one in your face, oh Lord have mercy.
Yeah, no, it's not a nice one.
Yeah. And Muniba Ali facing Kranti Guard round the wicket, but she hooks that expertly over the fine leg fielder and all the way to the fine leg boundary for 4. So I tell you what, this lady, Muniba Ali, may not necessarily be technically correct. She does look a little bit awkward, but if she does play her shots, they can come off. And Kranti Guard now under immediate pressure. We see the first ball of that over going for a boundary, just like it did with Arundhati Reddy. And if they can get a few nicks to the boundary, then, you know, a shot could be on, although the win predictor still believes that India have an 82% chance of winning this. Single there down to mid-wicket. Yeah, go ahead.
Because the big thing is that they have never gotten 170 Pakistan in a T20 World Cup. So that's a big challenge for them, isn't it? So, yeah.
I don't think any team has chased 170. The highest chase, of course, is 164. That was done by England against Australia when they won the tournament in 2009. But that's a wonderful cut shot there played by Gulfiroz all the way down to the backward point boundary for 4. And so, well. I don't want to tempt fate. I think India's bowlers are struggling with their line and length. What say you, boys?
Yeah, definitely Kranti struggling with the line and length. But I still don't want to go overboard because before this over, it was only 11 runs that was conceded in the first 2 overs. So I still think there's hope for India. Maybe a bit of a fight back from Pakistan. If another cut shot there goes straight to the fielder. But already 10 off the over.
Yep, 4-1, 4-1.
So let's see.
Round the wicket now. And of course, that is also another fine shot that goes all the way down to the backward square leg boundary for 4. And I tell you what, Muniba Ali is enjoying herself. And of course, this is the phase when, as we all know, the fielders have to go inside the circle. But what was really interesting was that Pakistan's bowling was so disciplined, they never really allowed India to get much of a headway in the first 6 or so overs. Already we've seen the third over, Pakistan have gone up to 25 for no loss. So it could very well be, if they maintain this rate, they could get the 50 within the 6 overs, and that would be a brilliant start for them.
Absolutely brilliant start if they can continue like this. Let's see, maybe Muniba Ali face the last ball. Let's see, can she get it away to maybe another boundary? She throws her hands at one that was wide. That's just a dot ball. A very good over from Pakistan. And that's 12-14 from it.
And we've got Martin in the building, just came in to say hi. Hello to you, mate. And another reminder, please keep hitting the like button, subscribe to the channel. You know what you have to do. And yeah, so again, with T20 cricket, but you always have these fine margins. If you're slightly off your line, if you aren't quite able to get your fielding spot on, and there were some drop catches in the innings. I think Smriti Mandhana had a couple in her favour. So that really gave her a few charmed lives. And the Pakistan coach, Wahab Riaz, said that had there not been those drop catches and missed fields, they could have looked to have restricted India to about 140 or maybe 150.
I definitely think if
15 runs, 20 runs in the end, short of what they wanted.
Twice on 27 and 55. So a massive let off.
And now Sriyanka Patil coming back in, and that's a wonderfully played shot by Gul Feroza down to the square leg boundary. And Pakistan have they're motoring right now at the moment.
Yeah, they are.
Actually, it's not square leg; it's more or less called cow corner, so they say. But what a start this has been so far.
Great start versus spinning this over. Forster's his first over only went for 2 runs, so already doubled that with just the first delivery faced. And then another sweep shot there, bit more in front, so it will only be the single. Of course, this is, I believe, the third or second time this exact pitch is being used. Netherlands versus Bangladesh was played on this exact pitch today.
And a wonderful sweep shot there to the backward square leg boundary, and Pakistan are dealing in boundaries so far. But again, you just want to you just think that when it comes to this batting lineup, it is still a little bit inexperienced, so maintaining their composure will be key. But I'll tell you what, the more often they score these boundaries, the greater the pressure they exert on the Indian bowlers. Wonderful sweep
definitely.
shot there.
Just Sri Lanka, just a line is totally wrong. Not much wrong with the length and the delivery, just a line. Making that pitching almost on off stump to the left-hander, that just makes it too easy for her to sweep that one.
Well, this time she gets her line right, and Muniba sort of plays it back. Sort of one bounce back to the bowler. I think how Harmanpreet and Mandhana will rotate their bowlers will be key. A lofted drive there, but is there a fielder under it? No, she drops it. Arundhati Reddy. I think she was running back to try and get that, and that's a 2 for Pakistan there. But I seriously think that when it comes to fielding and trying to take these catches, especially running back, they've got to do a little bit of work there. I know it's not easy.
Yeah. She was just not in any position, but good body position to catch that at all. Just, I don't know if there was a bit of wind or anything, because it doesn't look like she saw it properly out of the air while she was running there. Just totally missed it. She was running. Diva will play there. Works it through. They'll get single. So at the end, 12 of the over. Again, not a bad over. 15 and then 14 and 12 of the last 2 overs. That's what you want from the power play.
Oh, yes. 37 off 4 overs, 9.25 and over. And as I said, but it could very well be that they'll get the 50 in the first 6 overs. But again, it could also be that come the middle overs, maybe if they're... Do you think that there will be the prospect of some rough outside the off stump that India spinners could maybe exploit? Or because this pitch has played wonderfully so far.
I wouldn't say so. I just don't think there's enough pace attack for that to happen. So unless you're relying on the spinners to maybe make that rough, I doubt it.
Well, Deepti Sharma into the attack. The first ball was a dot ball. The second one, a wider delivery, an attempted cut there, which finds the fielder. So that's 2 dot balls, which sort of relieves the pressure on India a bit. And Gulshan, who was here earlier, Deepti Sharma, of course, 161 wickets from her 145 games. Gulshan was basically saying that Deepti Sharma is effectively like the Ravindra Jadeja of the women's team. Very important bowler and someone who doesn't necessarily hit out, but who can be trusted to play along the ground. And when she was batting with Richa Ghosh, she played a big role in sort of, dropping anchor, keeping the scoreboard ticking and allowing Richa to play her shots. And so 3 dot balls, she's done a fine job so far.
Yeah, 3 dot balls, immediately releasing the pressure of India. And she comes down the pitch to meet it on the bounce, gets it away for a single day. Mudiba.
Yeah, she's played well so far, 24 off 20, and Gul Feroza has also done herself justice. So 2 balls left, and she goes round the wicket to the right-handed Feroza. An attempted reverse sweep, and that is Pakistan's first player gone. And so Deepti Sharma coming into the attack and providing the breakthrough.
Attempted the reverse sweep. Sweeps it potentially very well if there wasn't a fielder. And then, just in the air. Gets the breakthrough. Deepti Sharma needed one. Very good over from her first 3 balls, a dot ball, and now the wicket. Amazing work from Deepti Sharma after what was 2 very expensive overs. Yeah, maybe just not the correct shot.
Yeah, and that's probably the inexperience kicking in because, there was probably a reason why Deepti decided to go around the wicket, stay around the wicket, you could say, for the right-handed Gul Feroza. I think maybe she tempted her to play the reverse sweep, but the fielder was kept there for a reason. So also full marks to the captain for getting that spot on.
Yeah. So, definitely. And now,
so this is going to be interesting because, so Aisha Zafar, yes, nearly 500 runs. She needs 3 for 500 in T20 internationals. And she is, of course, here because of the departure of one of the opening batswomen, Gul Feroza, who played a helping hand in that partnership. But immediately, Zafar sweeps her first ball all the way to the backward square leg boundary. And that'll be just a single, though. And that is the over that India needed at the end of the 5th over. Pakistan are 39 for 1.
39 for 1. Two off it and a wicket. That's a fantastic over from Deepti Sharma. Showing a class, showing what she's all about. Similar to what she done versus South Africa in the final in the ODI World Cup when she just turned up with the ball. Deepti Sharma in that game. And now, massive from her in this one. So just as Pakistan were getting momentum.
Yeah, but again, this is going to be a big test for Pakistan because Adnan Reddy coming back into the attack now, and it could very well be that Deepti Sharma will continue to bowl. I think Sri Lanka was probably a little bit expensive, but now Adnan has a challenge. She struggled with her line earlier on a little bit. She is, of course, now bowling to a new batswoman, not the set batswoman in Muniba Ali. So, Aisha Zafar right-handed batsman facing the right arm over the wicket, Arundhati Roy, and that should be a wide, and it is, and that takes Pakistan's run rate to exactly 8 and over.
Yeah, first ball, a wide, not what you want. And Arundhati, that's been maybe one problem for India so far in the first 5 overs. The seam is just looking a bit off pace. The two seamers that have been used, one went for 14 in her first over. Now Arundhati conceded 8 in her first, so not the best so far from the seamers for India.
And that's a nice lofted shot played by Aisha Zafar. That goes all the way down to the deep mid-wicket boundary for 4, and that will definitely relieve some pressure on Pakistan. So the 50 still on, if they can just remain and keep their composure. But you were saying, Poet, I think they're struggling with their line a little bit, and these fast bowlers could very well be, targeted.
Yeah, that's a beautiful flick off the legs and just over the inner ring. And that's one thing, especially what we have been seeing in this tournament, in the power play. And so just get it over the inner ring, and you never know, it might just go all the way for the boundary.
Yeah, well, that's just gone to the boundary too, all the way to the backward point region, the region between backward point and third man, if you will, for another boundary. I think it was an attempted cut. You could say that there was a slight edge to it. Certainly lofted, but again, there's no protection over there. There's no slip, there's no gully. And so that's another very big risk that a lot of these fielding sides are taking by not protecting that area. And so Pakistan have already well exceeded India's start to this match. So they've started brilliantly.
They definitely have, and only losing that 1 wicket so far has been key for them. And if let's see what she does here. Just quick single. That's just positive cricket. Taking that quick single there. Just sensible cricket as well. Now that you're not going to hit every ball for boundary, just gets it away for quick single, puts in the set batter, Mundiba in, and now they're already up to 10 with 2 balls to come.
That's also very nicely played. A fine shot there, but that only goes for a single all the way down to deep cover. But that brings up the 50 before the end of the first phase, and that is a brilliant 50, it has to be said. There is also a caveat, though, that after the first 6 overs, I think Mandana did start to, open up a little bit, start to dance down. So in as much as India didn't start very well, they certainly regained their composure in the middle overs. And so the middle overs could very well be key as to how Pakistan do here. And that's a poor piece of fielding. I think that will end up costing India a couple of runs if they can make it back in time, and they do.
Worked their way behind and into the final leg area, and then just a misfield there causes them to go back for 2. So 13 off that over. Pakistan 52 for 1 off the 6 overs. Very good over. Very good spell so far from them.
Yeah. So there's already put some Harmanpreet Kaur under pressure as a captain. She now has to make sure she gets her bowlers to, really start using their experience very well. But props to Maniba Ali. She's been outstanding. And Aisha Zafar has come right in and steadied the ship very well indeed.
Showing that the chances India had. Already 2 drop catches. Miss run out. Definitely those 2 drop catches is big. So yeah, first 6 overs, drinks break. Let's see. Wait, hold up. Jefferson think Cucurella going to Real Madrid. Huh? Whoa. Hold up. Jeez. Cucurella, here we go.
Well, that could be a loss if he does go to Real Madrid. I mean, he's probably been one of your more impressive players, I would say.
Yeah.
So, who do you replace him with? Maybe someone like an Oscar Mingueza or someone more dynamic? I think Hano's just gone off for a little bit. He will be back, I'm sure. But first 6 overs, Pakistan. What a start. You've definitely, proven that you are not here just to make up the numbers. Of course, teams can have a troubled start, but finish magnificently and start well, but end up fading away. We are going to see what happens here. And so this is the phase where consolidation will be key. Ironically, this was the phase where India sort of launched themselves, and now it is Deepti Sharma back into the attack. 1 wicket for 2 off her first over. And I think it's fair to say that Harmanpreet Kaur will be leaning on this lady for yet another breakthrough. Over the wicket to the left-handed Muniba Ali. And that is quite well played all the way to the point fielder. That will be a single. And I think that's what Pakistan are now going to have to try and do. Just they've made an excellent start so far. What they're probably going to look to do is just make sure they keep the scoreboard ticking. And so when they keep the scoreboard ticking in the form of singles and twos, just refuse the big hits for now. They can actually put that pressure back on India and maybe draw some mistakes. And that's another reason why. Round the wicket now to the right-handed Aisha Zafar. So you see that Deepti is trying to sort of contain everything rather than be more attacking, and she has done a very good job so far. But I was saying, Hano, that if Pakistan are able to keep the scoreboard ticking, they could always get some boundaries later. And once again, an attempted sweep, and Deepti Sharma takes a 2nd wicket. I was saying that they just had to maintain their composure, but a rush of blood, another sweep shot, and that's another one down.
What a brilliant catch that is also. I have to give credit to that. Great catch in the field there in the front leg area. Jeez. Yeah, just needed to stay composed. She started so well so far and then goes for the reverse sweep. Sorry for this, just a normal sweep. And that's a brilliant catch. Fingers underneath it. And that's the wicket. It's another breakthrough. 2 wickets very close together.
Yeah. It was Smriti Mandana, the vice-captain, who took that catch at forward short fine leg, you could say. And it was Fulmali who took the other catch. So Deepti Sharma already proving to be India's saviour with both of India's wickets so far. And she could very well be the main player who guides India to victory if she keeps on doing what she's doing. What she's doing here, as I've said, she's bowling round the wicket to the right-hander and over the wicket to the left-hander. I think she's trying to, more or less contain and stop the flow of runs. And so the new batswoman is
Sayara in.
Saira Jabin, yes. And, she will, a lot will be expected of her because I believe it was she who dropped that catch at long on, which went for 6 off Mandana. So it is back with Muniba now, and not really able to get to the pitch of that. So after an excellent sixth over, Pakistan are now pegged back a little bit.
Oh, yeah, Deepti
No.
Sharma just immense control is forcing a away onto Pakistan.
Okay. Single off the final ball. Pakistan are 55 for 2. And they still need another 116 runs. But again, Harmanpreet will have to be careful that she doesn't bowl out Deepti Sharma too quickly, because Deepti, as you mentioned, Hanno, ironically, will have a big role to play in the end overs as well.
Yeah, definitely. Especially without the way the seamers are going. She's going to have to play a big role towards the end.
Yeah. As I mentioned, Saila Jabin had that drop catch at long on off Mandana, so I think she might owe her team at least 20 or 30 runs. What should have been a straightforward catch ended up being palmed over the boundary for 6. So Mandana did lead a charmed life. And now we have the left arm spinner, Sri Chalani, who replaces Adinati Reddy. Left arm over the wicket to the left-handed Muniba Ali. A nice sweep over there down to certainly the cow corner / steeped wicket fielder. That'll be a single. And that brings Saila Jabin on strike. She's taken 28 wickets at an economy rate of 7.7. Also a very young, up-and-coming cricketer, you could say. India have always had a knack of producing some pretty good left-arm spinners on both the men's and women's sides.
Yeah.
Pakistan hoping for 2, but not getting it. You were saying, Bert?
I feel like they just need one big over these two together. But they need to build a partnership. These two are going to have to take Pakistan deep into the innings.
Absolutely. Once again, over the wicket to the left-handed Muniba Ali, and she plays that all the way down to long on. They're not going to get a second there. I think, as I said earlier, they'll probably now look to just keep the scoreboard ticking and avoid playing any, injudicious sweeps. Now, was there an edge there from Muniba Ali? No, there wasn't. But there was actually an edge from Muniba Ali in the first over, which Richard Ghosh dropped. And hoping to catch that, and that's another wicket. Saila Jabin not getting to the getting to grips with that and popping that straight to the extra cover fielder. And Pakistan are now starting to slip a bit.
Yeah. Just poor from Pakistan there. Giving wickets away now. It's giving 3 wickets. Yeah. But that's just poor shot, to be honest. That's nothing to do with a great delivery or anything like that. That's just a poor shot selection.
And I suppose the one silver lining is that Muniba Ali is still at the crease. But I was saying it, but they had to be composed. They had to choose their shots. They just had to keep the scoreboard ticking and then look to play the big shots whenever India would make a mistake. But now they put themselves under pressure. And you see the contrast in play. India struggled at the very beginning, but found their composure after the sixth over. After a brilliant start as far as Pakistan were concerned, they've now given away 2 wickets.
Yeah, no, they were very good in this stage where Harmanpreet Kaur and Spencer Montana just bowled on that innings, left this phase almost where it could call even for 9 9 runs and over. This shot also in the air, luckily lands safe for Natalia.
Natalia Padres. It was she who took that catch at square leg to dismiss the Indian captain. Last ball of the over the wicket to the left-handed Muniba Ali, and struggles to play that, but that's a dot ball. And so 1 wicket for 4 off her first over, and Pakistan are 59 for 3 after 8. So they're going at just over 7 and over, which probably isn't bad. But this is the time, as is said, they really need to consolidate. Just another reminder, Pakistan need to score 171 runs at 8:55 and over. And they've chalked off 59, but they need another 112.
Yeah, of course, looking at the games to come, New Zealand versus Sri Lanka, England versus Ireland, or New Zealand versus Sri Lanka. That's going to be a big game for New Zealand.
And already Deepti Sharma's come back into the attack.
Trapped in front.
No, I think they've gone for a review. I'm not too sure that she was confident in that, to be honest. Natalia Perez, once again, the new batswoman, just struggling a little bit. I think she was trying to play the sweep, but just not really getting to the grip of it. Kim Cotton from New Zealand is the third umpire. And there does seem to be a bit of a gap between bat and pad, but did it hit her glove first? The original decision from the umpire was, in fact, not out. It does look as though the ball's missing the bat.
Maybe a bit of bat.
I mean, Ultra Edge should confirm it. I don't think there was an edge there, to be honest.
I think that's the only thing saving Natalia there. Let's see. This is a big decision here that's being reviewed. The wicket of Natalia will put Pakistan
Ultra
in
Edge
deep
will
trouble.
confirm.
4 down. Still waiting just for Ultra Edge and ball tracking to come through.
Ultra Edge is actually, well, there was a slight, it does hit her on the knee roll, but there was also a slight movement in the line when it hit the glove. And we're going to find out if this is in line. Looks in line, pitching in line, impact in line, but the wickets are the umpire's call.
I think that's a big thing. So it's on the front pad. It goes missing. Or it hits the wickets. Tiny bit. I didn't think that ball turned that much. But it's saying it's umpire's call, so not out. As the original decision was that she's not out.
As you can see here.
Did you think that ball was turning that much?
It probably had some late turn to it, maybe. But again, this is really Deepti at her best. And it looks as though Harmanpreet Kaur wants to go to bowl Deepti for as much as possible, giving her maybe 1 over near the end. But an attempted a run out there, and she was safe. Easily safe.
Yeah, easy. Safe. Yeah.
And then 2 dot balls once again put the pressure back on Pakistan. They're just lucky that they're not 4 down at this point.
No, definitely.
At least finally we have some people watching. There weren't too many people in the comments when I was doing the first innings. Third delivery. And that sort of played off her hips, you could say, all the way down to the square leg region, and that will be a dot ball. That takes the total to 60. 60 or
And
51
Money,
balls. Yes?
they were what, 52 for one after the power play. So it's taken them 15 balls to get 8 runs. And they've lost 2 wickets in that process. So poor.
Yeah, you could say but that's the inexperience coming in, and obviously Deepti Sharma, she's been magnificent so far. 2.62 so far off her 2.4 overs. She's contained beautifully. Another sweep shot, but this time it evades the field. It goes all the way to the square leg fielder, and that will be just a single. So I think the message is pretty clear. Do not try anything stupid. If you want to play a sweep shot, make sure you know where the fielders are or aren't. And at least now with 3 singles off this over, they've started to pick up a little bit. Over the wicket now to the left-handed Muniba.
Hope you're all well. I'm well, thanks. Hope you're well, Angel B. And it says, which team are you? Looks like they could win this World Cup. So too early to predict. I think you have to be looking at Australia and England right now. India, I still feel like there's a few holes in their team, but I think Australia and England are probably the front runners. What do you think, Manny?
Yeah. We talked about this in the preview. I think a lot of us have got Australia as favourites. And now Sri Chudley back into the attack. And already left arm round the wicket to the right hand of Natalia Parvez. Plays that back to the bowler. And this is going to be a difficult phase now because I don't think Deepti Sharma will be bowled out. She will have 1 over in the end. And it's now back to another spinner to try and keep the shackles on.
Yeah.
Harmanpreet Kaur deducing that the seamers have not really been that effective, but that's a fine shot played all the way down to the cover fielder. And Muniba Ali gets back well in time, despite Richa Ghosh's best efforts. Wait, they're claiming a run out.
I'm seeing the run out there now. Decision is not out, but she looks out.
Great work there from Harmanpreet Kaur. Brilliant throw. I think Muniba Ali is just short, but does she get the dive in time? No, she's safe. Brilliant dive there. I think, Harmanpreet Kaur was celebrating a little bit too early, and I'm afraid her celebrations are going to be cut short.
You know what? If that was a direct throw and the keeper didn't have to take off the bails, then I think there would have been real trouble.
Absolutely. And then Muniba makes the most of her life by lofting that for 2. It dropped just in front of the fielder, and she completely misread it. Another life there, you could say. Kranti Gaur.
Fielding, says Angel B. Yeah, absolutely. Very good fielding.
And this sweep shot now by Muniba Ali goes all the way to the square leg / cow corner region for 4. And so Pakistan are starting to pick up a little bit.
Yeah.
I think Deepti Sharma really put the brakes on them. Deepti Sharma really put the brakes on them.
Deepti definitely had a stronghold over them. Angel B, who do you think could win this World Cup? And who are you rooting for to win it?
Well, another lofted drive there from Muniba Ali. Evades the fielder. The outfield is fast, but not too fast. It was never going to go to the boundary, but that's another useful 2 runs there. Already 9 off this over. So you can see that with Deepti Sharma out of the attack, Pakistan can try and find their way back into it. Last delivery. Left arm over the wicket to the left-handed Muniba Ali. And plays that behind. Another attempt at a run out, but I think she threw to the wrong end, personally. So, 10 off the over. 72 for 3.
Yeah. And should be South Africa. Yeah. I hope so. I'm South Africa myself. I hope that we can do something. That's 2 seconds.
Okay, well, state of play with the game midway through. Pakistan's run rate is 7.2, but they need 99 more runs to pull off this chase at a rate of 9.9 and over. Another reminder, India scored 176 after 20 overs, with Smriti Mandhana top scoring with 68. Harmanpreet Kaur providing some useful support with 36. And 34 at a strike rate of 200 from Richa Ghosh pulled them over the 170 barrier. So Pakistan needs to score 171 runs, pulling off the highest chase in T20 World Cup history, women's T20 World Cup history. And halfway through their innings, they need just less than 100 more runs. And so the last 24 balls, 20 runs, 2 wickets, and a boundary, but Deepti Sharma has been the one who's made it happen. Shriyanka Patil now. Round the wicket, off break to the left-handed Muniba Beg, and some interference there, and that ends up giving Pakistan a run. And that takes Muniba Ali to 40. I'm not too sure that was necessarily deliberate. And Shriyanka Patil has every reason to feel quite miffed by that. But that puts Natalia Parvez on strike. And Shriyanka continues round the wicket, this time to the right-handed Parvez. And she sweeps that all the way down to cow corner, or deep mid-wicket rather, for single. And that's
Angel B out. Ooh, that's gonna be sore. Yeah, just to more reply. I hope we do well. I don't know if we will though. I don't know. It's gonna be tough. It's going to be a tough one for us to come back. Today, Jemima Rodriguez.
And some wonderful screenshots of life in India, I think. Shriyanka Patil getting some urgent medical attention. Spotlight now, though, on Muniba Ali, who's played a fine innings so far, 40 not out from 34. 5 fours in her knock. Definitely, someone who has enjoyed playing the sweep. And she's anchored the innings and is also their top scorer. So hoping to try and get a big score to try and anchor this chase. And I'll tell you what, however Pakistan end up doing in this chase, I think they can give themselves a great deal of credit if they manage to run India very close.
Only one loss early days, says Angel B. Only one loss early days. And Angel B, if we connected with rugby, with the Springboks when it comes to World Cups, we did learn that you need to lose your first pool game to win a World Cup. So maybe.
Yeah, works that way in football too. Argentina in 2022, Spain in 2010.
Spain in 2010. So maybe.
I told you in 2022, I was one of those who called it and said that Argentina would still top their group and go on to win. And coming down the track there is Natalia Parvez. only finds the fielder at extra cover.
That's straight to the fielder there by Natalia.
Once again, going around the wicket, and
We need a
I
boundary.
think that they're appealing for a run out now. This might go to the third umpire because I'm not too sure that Natalia was. I mean, not Natalia. I'm not too sure that Muniba was really comfortable, to be honest with you. That's going to go to the third umpire,
So,
but we'll see what happens here.
I think she should. I think she is safe, or should be at least.
No, she could be gone. I think she's gone. She was a bit lackadaisical there, and surprisingly, I'm not too sure that Richa Ghosh was very confident of that, but...
Oh, yeah, gone.
Yeah, and that there goes Pakistan's top scorer. And with that, you've got to say that is the match sewn up for India now.
Yeah. Big run out there. And that is a very, very big wicket.
More's the pity because she was playing very well indeed. But once again, you see the lack of experience, the lack of composure, and India just using their experience wisely.
Exactly. Just too good, really. Just too good.
So Fatima Sana, the captain, has now come to the crease, and she's got a job to do. Fatima Sana Khan. Another very big name in Pakistan cricket.
Fatima. Well, they need less than 100 runs in about 9 overs. It's going to be a difficult task. Fatima with a strike rate of 140. She's definitely going to need to go above that almost.
She very nearly gives a wicket away, but Sri Lanka drops it. But India are in the driving seat.
No. A drop chance there. Ball it straight back to her. And it's a drop catch there by Sri Lanka. Attendance 18,814. That's a very good crowd. Playing this in Birmingham, Edgbaston. Look at what is the capacity. Capacity 25,000 capacity. So a large number of people. Well, over more than 60% of the stadium is full, so that's good to see. Of course, they play almost 2 games at a stadium. They try to do that, draw more people to it. Very good decision, I think, to do that. And that one's played nicely, just down past the bowler for a single.
That was an absolutely brilliant throw there, and it's Shafali Verma who's coming to the attack, already bowled one delivery. And an attempted cut there from the captain. Sort of a drive, rather, but that goes straight to the fielder. And you can see there that, Muniba Ali wasn't exactly, urgent enough, and that cost her wicket. Great throw that from Deepti Sharma. That's going to be a wide, though. Another useful run.
Yeah, a great throw. Very great throw. Such a great throw. That's wide there, Shafali Verma. I still feel like if Pakistan kept some of the wickets intact, they could have done well because, except Deepti Sharma, most of the balls have gone for a lot of runs.
Well, another one's bit the dust.
Oh, great catch there. Great catch in the air, plucks it out of the sky.
And it's the captain. It's the captain.
Poor, again, just poor shot selection.
Just not what they needed. Not what they needed. And you can tell that the skipper is absolutely disconsolate and disgusted with herself. 3-ball duck for the captain. And Pakistan are on the ropes.
Yeah. Good take there by Smriti Mandhana. And Pakistan. Oh, but over for them, really. Angel B says Pakistan falling apart now. Yeah, just falling apart. Of course, this when the way they are going should give them a very big boost in terms of net run rate. Maybe even putting them ahead of Australia, who also got a big net run rate win.
Ali Arias, new batsman, has 3 balls to face from this over. And once again, all they're doing is effectively playing into the field. It's a packed, I wouldn't say a packed offside field, but very strategically placed. And you just see the
Yeah, just such a very good catch by Mandhana. Had to time it perfectly. Caught it.
Pakistan in all sorts of trouble now, it has to be said. And after 12 overs, they're looking all sorts of bother.
So, yeah, so 9 for 5. I had no idea.
So Sri Chudley back into the attack, round the wicket. And another one's gone. Natalia Parvez once again finding the fielder. And they are falling apart like 9 pins at the moment.
And this time it goes to Arminpreet Kaur. And yeah, they're falling like flies. 79 for 6.
It's like, it is really at this point poor shot selection because, the fielders are placed there strategically. You cannot play those lofted drives. And, it was a struggle for Natalia Parvez, 7 off 13. And, you really can't see any hope for Pakistan right now. I think their inexperience and lack of composure has just told today.
Yeah, there's absolutely no hope for them, is there? It's just a question of how quickly will they be bowled out. And they started so well, getting 52 runs in the power play. Then just lost their way as soon as the wickets started falling.
So left arm over the wicket to the left-handed Ramin Shamim. And that's played all the way down to mid-on for a single. That takes Pakistan to 80. I think at this particular point, they'll just want to try to get to 100 and maybe reduce the margin. But again, you have a semi-packed offside field. You play a drive like that. You know the fielder is there. It's played down for a double, so that's going to give them some respite. But I think the game pretty much is now more or less over as a contest. Pakistan have a decent run rate of just around about 7, but they've lost wickets at the worst possible time. And as you say, Hannah, had they kept some of their wickets, maybe this would have been more of a contest.
Yeah, definitely.
Last delivery of the over. And once again, it's she dances down the track, but really can't get much bat on ball. And after 13 overs, it's 83 for 6. So,
yeah, all but over.
yeah.
Really. Just want India now to basically get all the wickets now, so we can get it over with. Of course, Pakistan, they do play South Africa at this exact same stadium on Wednesday, 17th.
And then Bangladesh, Australia, before concluding their campaign against the Netherlands at Bristol. Shefali Verma, off spinner, back into the attack. And that's sort of guided down to the short fine leg fielder. Single to start the over. Interestingly enough, Nasha Sandhu has bowled the most dot balls in the match with 12, but she has also been hit for boundaries. Deeply, on the other hand, has been so economical. They've just not been able to read her well, and I think that sort of inspired the other bowlers to really make a game of it. And we've got our other South African friend, Shanlu. Good evening to you, bud. How are you?
Good evening, guys. How are you doing?
All good, all good, all good, all good, all good. We almost have a full panel today. If only Gushan could come back.
Yeah.
And
But one-sided match for India today.
yeah. The tragedy, Shanlu, was that Pakistan started their innings quite brilliantly with the bat, but I think their lack of composure and lack of temperament just sort of let them down a bit. And this Indian team, of course, is a champion team, having, come in winning the ODI World Cup. But a nice little cut there from Alia, and I don't think that's going to go to the boundary. That's going to stop short. Can they get 3? No, I think they opt for 2.
Yeah, good work there by Team Tishaman to stop that. So.
Yeah, but the ball was actually stopping already. It wasn't going to go to the boundaries.
True as well.
Almost run out opportunity gone there. Oh my.
Yeah, that's just dozy cricket there from Pakistan.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no communication for the run, but they survive only just. I'm not sure why she's asking for a review there. Is it a possible leg before shout?
maybe looking for Albert. Let's see. I think. Uh, oh man, that's going to miss the wickets, man.
Well, it does hit Riaz on the knee
Uh,
roll, I think.
I think it's paired first.
yes.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I think it
interesting.
is a wicket, yeah.
Ed should confirm that. Or was that really the bat hitting the pad?
No. Yeah. Paired first.
It's definitely paired first. Yeah. You agree?
Of course, if there is doubt, then the benefit goes to the batsman.
Yeah, that should be. But now the question is how many runs Pakistan can get for that. Otherwise, the net run rate is going to be so in the minus cup 3 or so. So just how close can they get to the score? They're going to lose, that's for sure. But it's a.
Wait. So decision is there's no bad.
Yeah, it's not out.
Okay. I don't know. I disagree with that decision. I don't know. Definitely thought there was pad involved.
And that's going to be another single, which takes them to 88, played down to mid/long off.
They might get to 100.
I think that's one of me. Maybe 120 or so.
Round the wicket now to the left-handed Ramin Shamim, and that's played back down the ground. And that's another single. So at the end of this over, Pakistan at 89 for 6, and they still need a miracle to get any kind of a win.
No. So 89 for 6 after 14. Just waiting for this to conclude, really.
A couple of soft wickets gone by Pakistan. Steady run outs today.
Yeah.
What do you think,
Poor
Marty?
shot, stupid shots as well.
Yeah, poor shot selections.
When you
See, reverse
didn't
sweeps
need
in
to.
the. Sure. Wow.
But that run out was absolutely huge as well.
Yeah.
So we're into the last 6 overs. I think it's fair to say that it is definitely all over bar the shouting. And these middle overs were really where the match was lost as far as Pakistan were concerned. Just goes to show that you can't really, sort of say for certain that one certain phase is the key phase. There are always going to be key phases everywhere. In fact, the middle overs probably will end up being the key phase where you have to keep your composure. Last 24 balls, just 17 runs and 3 wickets, and that's pretty much what's broken Pakistan's resistance. Sri Chavani now back into the attack, left arm over the wicket to the left-handed Ramin Shamim. Played all the way down to the vacant region between mid-wicket and square leg for a single. The run rate's now under 7. I think they'll just be hoping to make it a little bit respectable. But
yeah, another one-side game today.
Yeah, the Netherlands Bangladesh game was very good game.
That was going to the end.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah,
Good
yeah
game.
low scoring game, I think, but still quite competitive between those two nations.
No,
But the match of the weekend was yesterday's match, for sure.
yeah, definitely. I thought they were very poor, New Zealand, in the field.
Yeah, we talked about it yesterday. 6 drop chances. So,
That's right. That is big. That's massive.
oh, another beautiful catch, yeah. Patel, what a catch. Maybe the catch of the tournament coming up here. Oh, what a catch.
Yeah. Lofted shot.
Oh,
and
not a beautiful one.
diving catch. Brilliant.
Oh, no.
And she also says, what a catch. Brilliant. Brilliant in the field from India. Except that one drop chance. They've been really good in the field. Sri Lanka.
Saranka. Yeah, I like her. She's a good one.
Quarter of a fingertips there. Angel says it was a fingertips, yeah. Fingertip catch there. Puts them in trouble. And puts them now even closer to a very big win.
Just.
We just need to smash them. We just need to smash Pakistan.
Yeah, we're playing them next Wednesday. Pakistan.
We just need to smash them, really. Then we need to. I would even rest off that, but I think you can't rest. If we had played really good and lost up against Australia, we said we could rest off the big stars, but
Oh, no, we need to play them.
can't rest them because they have to get in form.
Mani, what are your thoughts? Did you think this game once? Did you expect more from Pakistan in this match?
It's hard to say, really, Jean-Lou. And listen, I was very impressed with certain facets of their play. I thought, at the very beginning, they bowled excellently, but I think the lack of discipline at the end saw them leak a few boundaries, which got India to that big total. Of course, it's just a case, really, that they just don't have the composure or the big match temperament. And saying goodbye to one of their big players, Bismar Maroof, I think a lot's still resting on, one or two players to really do that and to sort of take them further. They haven't been just haven't been quite able to do so, really.
Yeah.
Shafali Verma now back into the attack, and she receives a single all the way down to. And that's a lofted shot there, hoping to split the field. Does it go to the boundary? I think it might just. No, it stops short, but they should run for 3.
3, yeah.
And they do get 3.
Yes, good fielding again there. Oh, brilliant dive.
But then here's the thing, like once it escapes your hand, if you're not careful, the ball can trickle further back and hit the rope. So you can see the boundary that way. And that's played all the way down to cow corner. It's another single. I think Pakistan will be hoping to get to maybe. I mean, they should now get 100 easily, maybe 120 or 125. Just reduce the margin of defeat.
Yeah. Definitely fun. Let's see. Hopefully India ball them out quickly. Really, that's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, of course, if India do have a big win, then that will be really useful for, as far as net run rate is concerned, because South Africa are quite behind in that regard, I would say.
Yeah.
Right?
So we also.
Yes.
Yeah, we are. So anything less than a 60-odd win for India puts Pakistan ahead of us with net run rate. So
it's a very good drive there. That'll be a boundary, and that brings up Pakistan's 100. They go to 102 for 7.
Very good, almost lofted drive. Very good way to bring up the 100 for Pakistan.
And that's what you want to do with the last ball as well. You split the field and you find the gap, and they should run for an easy 2 to get back safely, and they do. So 104 for 7, 12 off the over. Some late resistance going down with a bang.
Yeah.
Some snapshots there of the city of Birmingham, England's second city, an absolutely wonderful historic city. Home, of course, to Edgbaston Cricket Ground and many classy football clubs, including Aston Villa, Europa League champions, who will be playing Paris Saint-Germain for the Super Cup on the 12th of August in Salzburg, Austria.
Deepti Sharma bowling now.
Yeah, this is her final over, and she's literally been the one who's made this thing happen. But they down to fine leg for a single, and they're not going to mind that one.
Just enough on the sweep shot there to get a single. Can past the keeper.
Another chance and into the hands of Germania Rodriguez. Not a wicket.
You are well ahead of both of us, my friends. So
Yeah.
there's always going to be that kind of discrepancy there. But listen, we make it work. We make it work.
Yeah.
Obviously, Alia Riaz there, who played quite well, trying to sort of play over the top. But Deepti Sharma, third wicket, definitely a candidate for player of the match. I think Alia Riaz knows that she just didn't have enough power on that shot to get that over the boundary.
Probably big. It can be bold out here still. I don't think there's any big matches this week coming up. Only it's not tomorrow. There's not no games tomorrow. There's Tuesday. There's games again.
Yeah.
So race day tomorrow for them. Oh, 3 wickets for 9 runs for Deepti Sharma. Excellent.
Yeah, she's the one who basically broke the back of the Pakistan run chase. And now we've got Tasmia Rubab on her debut. She was selected ahead of the more experienced Diana Baig and bowled brilliantly first up. But then, oh, that's a very big sweep, but that should also find the fielder.
Not a wicket. So Deepti Sharma. Oh. Best bowling figures here, maybe in the World Cup. 4 wickets for 9 with 2 balls still to go for her. Yeah, Pakistan realized it's a game over already. Another big shot there. Finding the fielder. It is what it is.
Just too good.
Yeah, I know, that's for sure.
And could
India well and through
pick up
going
a
to
fiver.
smash Pakistan.
And to be fair, that was a very a good shot. On any other day, that would have possibly,
Yeah.
had the fielder not been there, they would have fetched us some runs. So it started so promisingly for Pakistan, but just ended up, floundering. Deepti Sharma has a chance to wrap it all up, get a fifer with her final 2 balls. Sadia Iqbal now, the left arm spinner, is coming in at number 11. And on first ball, she does manage a single. Not too bad work there from the Thailander. Yeah, connected with that beautifully, but she just found the field with it.
Angel B says I'm slightly ahead too. Much prefer this commentary. Thank you, Angel B.
And it's all over.
All over.
Everyone touch the dust.
A smashing victory here for Pakistan. For India. Well done. Dominated. Best figures here, Mani, maybe in this competition, 5 wickets for only 10 runs in 4 overs.
Yeah. That has to be a World Cup.
Yeah.
One of the best figures ever by a player in the T20 World Cup history.
I don't think there will be another good bowler in this tournament, Deepti, with that 5 for 10. Well done. So India won by 64 runs. It's another flashy victory here. So, yeah.
Massive.
Wow, I'm excited. Game again.
So best bowling. So and look at some of the best bowling figures. It was 4 overs, 4 wickets, 22 runs. Caused by Kemp in this World Cup.
Yeah.
That is definitely now shattered with Deepti Sharma 5 wickets, 10 runs, 4 overs. So, and she is also the first women's player to take a 5 at the T20 World Cup. Records for Deepti Sharma.
Hold on. Isaac, that will be me signing off, Mani. Manu, thank you. I will see you guys in the week again, my friend. Have a great evening.
Cheers, Janlo. Take care of yourself, bud.
Yes. Bye-bye.
Yeah, massive victory for them.
You know, what's really sad about this is just the anticlimactic nature of this thing. You know,
Yeah.
There were some signs that Pakistan were playing some really good cricket, but again, it was just a case of, you know, their lack of composure really letting them down at the worst time. And as you said, the impact of this win is that it now puts you at least into third. I think India are also topping the group now ahead of Australia,
No,
but
so Pakistan still have a better net run rate than us. So
they do. Okay.
Yeah, we are minus 3.25. They are minus 3.20. Plus
So
3.2. So we are currently last. Pakistan, Netherlands, Bangladesh, India, and Australia. So we're gonna have to climb an uphill battle. We've got Pakistan next. It doesn't get easier for them. So hopefully get a commanding victory like this one. So yeah.
Once again, the bowling really the stars of the show. Sri Chudney contributing with 3 for 21 off her 4. Shafali Baba chipping in with 1 for 22. The spinners really doing the damage late on, and Deepti Sharma just outstanding. And as for Pakistan's bowlers, they really bowled well in parts, but just conceded too many runs near the end. And apart from Muniba Ali, 41, no other Pakistani batswoman got to 20. There were a couple of useful 30s from Harmanpreet and Richa, but Smriti Mandana was the star of the show. Could very well be that Deepti Sharma ends up being the player of the match, because that haul, quite simply, was... It just decided everything as a contest, although Smriti's knock was very useful in terms of bringing India back into the contest. And as Hanno has confirmed, South Africa are actually bottom of the group now on net run rate, with the Netherlands in 4th. So you do have an uphill climb, boys.
Yeah, we do. Luckily, we do have these guys next, so we should be able to handle Pakistan. Should be.
I see you've got something coming up from the World Cup later on, and that's the first game tonight. I think it's Curaçao against Germany, isn't it?
Yeah. So yeah, that's gonna be the next one on the channel, and I'm gonna have a quick look at the wickets. Of course, Deepti Sharma, first sweep there, caught, then the sweep, brilliant catch, and then had a lofted shot, and then a great catch there by Jemima Rodrigues. Almost exact same, the third and fourth wicket, and then the last wicket. Head straight into the hands of Ahmed Prithur. So, yeah. But Mane, I don't know, can end it. Yeah. Deepti also now with the most wickets in T20 internationals, 166, showing her class. So has played the most matches out of those. Oh, there. Interesting to see Rwanda. Woman there, third. That's nice to see. But yeah, I think we'll wrap it up there, Money. Any last thoughts?
Nothing much really. I think, you know, India have now shown that with this margin of victory, they have made the best possible start and they have a great net run rate. But it's not going to get easier for India either. So the India-South Africa game will definitely be a crunch match. But South Africa also know that they're going to have to really up their game in the coming days before they play India. And when exactly are they playing India? Is that their last game or?
Next week, Sunday.
Ah.
So the third game. So we play Pakistan on Wednesday, and then we play them.
Right. I actually wanted to speak to you about the loss to Australia, because I remember just briefly before we wrap up, I was speaking to Janlu, and it's just confirmed that Deepti Sharma is in fact the player of the match, and there's nobody there to present the award, which I think is quite shameful, really. But you know, obviously she'll have a lot to say about her performance, I guess. But as far as South Africa are concerned, you know, there were some changes to the team which kind of surprised me. There was no Tasman Brits, so you had Dirksen, I think, coming in at number 3. Sune Lewson failed as an opener, got out very early. And apart from Laura Vulva, none of the batswomen were able to make much of a headway. So will there be changes for the upcoming game?
I think definitely there will be changes. We went very, we went with a lot of all-rounders. You got Cup, Tryon, Nadine Leclerc, and Sune Luce can also bowl. But those 3, you had Kayla Reineke can also bowl. But who came in at third in, who was it? What's her name? Annette Derksen as well. So we had 4 all-rounders in our team. Cup, Tryon, Nadine de Klerk, and then Derksen as well. So we went strong with the all-rounders, playing all 4 our all-rounders, and it just didn't pay off for us. None of them were done well with the bat. So, but it's usually what happens when we play in big games. It's usually our batting that costs us.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean, that's always going to be the weak link. So hopefully you'll get your team balance right when you play your subsequent games and get some momentum before you play India. But these next games are going to be important, and I think India will be quite buoyed by this. So no need to wait and see what the captains will say. I think if you want to wrap it up, by all means, go ahead. And that's a good day's work for me.
Yeah, thank you for doing it, Manny. Glad I could join you at least.
And tribute, shout out to Gushan as well, who joined in. He and I had a good chat as well. And hopefully we'll see him back for maybe another India game.
Yeah, hopefully maybe next week when South Africa play up against India. That's going to be a big one. And yeah, if you guys are interested, I'm gonna the Germany or Crosshouse Germany game. I believe they already went live for that one. That one is currently live. If you guys want to go tune in to that one, it should be a good game. Oh yeah, it started at 7 p.m. So they have started already. So do make sure you guys go tune into that one. Then we'll see you guys later on Tuesday. Cheers.